A third of the season has passed, and what a great third it's been here in Formula Sprint 2. It was the last race in Sepang, which we saw a very unlikely situation, which we thought we wouldn't see a repeat of in Suzuka, which we were awarded two brand new race winners. Jonas Carroll emerged victorious after a 3-year battle to the top step of the podium to clinch Priority 1's first race win of the season. And the second race saw the emergence of Emerald Overdrive as Dan Hayek manages to wing after a long wait period for that moment. Joining alongside Youngster means the American outfit achieved the accolade as the first time to achieve a 1-2 in FS2 this season. Round 6 takes us to the North American continent for the first time as Gilles Villeneuve will host the Canadian Grand Prix at a point in time for these drivers. That's a long wait to the next street circuit on the calendar. Big welcome here to Montreal, Quebec. Remco de Zeeuw is here in the cameras and broadcasting director side of things. Juho Sopanen joins alongside for me once again. Hello, Juho.
Hello, and it is a pleasure to come back to Canada as well. It is an amazing track with a lot of history behind it as well. And honestly, we are watching now one of the Fox Esports cars. That's Magnus Okenhaug, as I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, we are watching Magnus Okenhaug currently, but this track has a lot of history to it. And as we see Magnus Okenhaug also doing a lap, we've started the stream a little late. Just a teeny tiny bit late, but it's all fine. But Magnus Okenhaug goes 5th at the moment. And Amir, you seem to be part Canadian, if I remember right.
I don't know what you're talking about. 1978 was when the first race in Canada was held in this man-made circuit. It was initially made for the Expo 1967, and about from that, after the Expo was done, they converted it into a street circuit. So Gilles Villeneuve was the first ever race winner in this circuit, and since his pass away in '82, it has been named in his honor ever since then, and it'll produce some very, very exciting racing. It's personally one of my favorite tracks as well in the calendar, not just for the fact that I've been here in 2018. But I think it's just such a nice circuit, a nice street circuit, very close to the walls, and it's got a bit of that permanent street circuit feel. Of course, whenever it's not racing in Montreal, it's often converted into a public park, in which they have lanes for walking, cycling, and for skating, which is quite a popular summertime activity here for the Quebecs. Dan Hyatt, currently the fastest. Franco Grimazzoli, who's a recently called up from the academy, who's driving for ST Racing, just bangs onto the wall in the Quebec wall, and well, will be enough for P13, but a chance for what could have been even more for Francisco, although qualifying still going on. It is Emerald Overdrive to hold the best, though. Hyatt and Youngstra both first and third. Ben Skinner is sandwiched in between the two. David De Vries has managed to make a return up to form. Same with Vander Smissen, 4 and 6 for VMS Sonetits, a place that we haven't seen as much as in Albert Park, actually. So these two guys are doing really, really strong here in the street circuit, I must say.
Yeah, they're doing very strong in these in this circuit as well. I feel like they are pretty much good on these well, street circuits, and also some street circuits, but either way, Canada seems to be suiting them a lot, as we see Leila Petralia, not the best first sector, but second sector personal best at the moment, as we approach to the Quebec wall chicane. Well, never mind, Leila Petralia goes into the pits as she aborts the lap as well. And one name that you might not be also familiar with, also, Chimera Racing's Rarest Toma, and Radish, well, I know him. He's a 13-year-old prodigy, and he seems to be in 17th at the moment, as he has aborted the lap, it seems like. Either way, in Chimera's roster at the moment, Riccardo Bosani is the one that's the fastest, as Francesco Grimalizzi goes 7th fastest, and honestly, saying this kid is pretty good, but he needs to learn. He needs to learn in these smaller categories as well. And Amir, back to you as well. What do you think about the VMS Sonetits right now at the moment? Because they are currently setting some good times in the table as well, and well, on the table, and they are currently 3rd and 4th.
Got other new drivers as well. VMS Sonetits again, 3rd and 4th. Very good for them, and they're still going to be at the just about the glimpse of a preview. Corolla gets himself up into 2nd, although Hayek still seems to be the driver to beat, to nearly 3 tenths between himself and Corolla. And it's the most confident that we've seen in drivers so far in FS2. Vander Smissen has gone purple into the 1st sector, and it's only up to a chance whether the Dutchman could really hold it in. He's trying his best to use as much of the curbs as he possibly can into the 2nd sector, but if you use too much of it, you do end up kind of slowing down a bit. So that exit there is very important. You can just sort of see that chicane there has indeed cost him a bit of time. 3 tenths off from the 2nd sector, and then off to the Casino Straight means that well, time will tell if he's either going to commit to it or we're going to head straight into the pits. Also, the pit entry is kind of one of the more unique ones, I think, on the calendar. And speaking about replacements, we do have a couple of Jamie Klump replaces Alfie White. The Dutch driver has made some appearances in the academy races, so he's making an appearance there from McKenna Racing. We've got Lucas Machlik, who replaces, I think it is Alfie Denley here today. The Czech driver is driving for McManus Motorsports, I believe, and I think that's it. Oh, Dan Hutt as well has made the step up for his namesake team as well. But Jonas Karla on board with him, going to go over through to the final chicane. That is really throwing that goal around. He's going to give it everything he possibly can. Youngstra proves out a 6, but eyes still on Jonas. Can he take pole position here at this time?
Whoa, what a time.
And look at that, by a breadth of about a tenth, and that's very, very impressive than there. Pesi Mikkinen goes for the cross the line. He punches the Mapes VO driver, Mapes VO car up into the top 5. Cody Nikolakowski, meanwhile, can he replicate his teammate successes? He's only been just about on the edge of the top 10 in terms of his first flying lap. What can he do in his second? The North Macedonian driver goes for across the line, and he'll be back into the top 10, but not matching his teammate. So Mapes VO 5th and 10th, but Jonas Karla, more importantly, holds on to provisional pole with 6 minutes and 40 to go.
Yeah, Jonas Karla does a very great lap, as does Pesi Mikkonen as well. Pesi is one of the guys that I've seen very well in qualifying, but in Malaysia he had that crash, and an unfortunate crash as well. But he has so much potential that he could actually challenge for pole position. But meanwhile, as we say that, Mika Luving, first sector fastest, and second sector personal best, but lost a bit of time. It seems like from the chicane as well, as you talked about, Amir, on well, one of the VMS Sunday cars as well, as we go through the Quebec wall, and now we power down to the main straight and DRS on. What can Mika Luving, the Dutchman, do? Coming across the line here, he goes up to 8th. Decent up from the Dutch driver, who actually is currently on set for anything at this point. As Cody Nikolodkovsky, as you said, he is currently slower than his teammate, but it seems like with these two sectors, he can actually challenge for something here. And again, going through Quebec wall, oh, hits the wall of champions for a slightly bit, but coming across the line here, and he only manages 10th place, so decent lap, but not the one that Cody wants.
Youngster does manage to match his teammate to get himself up into 3rd, although it's still there's a gap between himself and his teammate. Hayek has not been able to make an improvement since his first provisional lap that put him onto the top step at the moment. Now he's currently in 2nd, and with less than 5 minutes left to go, eyes are going to be on the Czech driver to see if there's any more that Emerald Overdrive driver can do. David de Vries has done very, very well. Justin Van Smith has kind of dropped off a little bit from the improvements from Luvnik, Ganalia, and Lukoski and Okenhag, but De Vries seems relatively a little bit unharmed at the bit, although 3 thousandths between himself and Luvnik. If Luvnik improves any more, then that's going to be P7 gone for him. So David De Vries is going to make sure this is going to be proven to get himself out of that trouble, and it is going to be out of trouble for De Vries. In fact, It will be up into the top 4 for David, and that displaces Ben Skinner down into 5th place. So very, very good there from the VMS Sunnet driver. The thing is, can Van Smith replicate that? Because those two are already very close at the start of qualifying, but it's going to be another different thing if it's going to be like this at the late stages of it. Here we go, running aboard with Justin as he's going to throw his car onto the curbs for the first sector, and we'll see what the timing is going to be. A bit of a yellow though. I'm not sure if it's going to be an improvement here, Juho.
Yeah, there's not going to be much time, but as I can say, never say never, because we got 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go on this qualifying session. I think Justin Van der Smissen might actually improve on this time. Going through the chicane right now, and really good entry, but a bit of a scruffy exit there, Amir. But either way, now we're going through this corner called only the hairpin. And either way, yeah, 2/10 off still on sector 2. I think he might abort that lap, unless he's got something to the final chicane as well on this track. And dare to say that Justin Van der Smissen has had a bit of, how do I say it, not the greatest performances at the moment, but I reckon he could challenge for something here, going through the Quebec wall, and now DRS on. And let's see what can Van der Smissen do. At the moment, he's not going to improve. So P14 currently, but he will not improve on his lap time. As look at Cody Nikolodkovsky as well. First sector fastest, and second sector a bit off. But either way, I think he's got something to call up from here. And he has the DRS on. Now we're going to go to the final chicane, as known as Quebec Wall. And really good entry and exit as well. And currently he has the DRS on, and he's going to pounce through over the line now, and he goes up to P4. So a very great improvement for Cody Nikolodkovsky from going from P10 to P4 on his quad lap. As I can say never in FS2.
Dan Hayek gone with him. He's got a personal improvement into the first sector. That previously used to be a purple, but that could be enough for the truck driver if his remaining 2 sectors are just as strong as the first. Then we could be seeing through a new pole sitter, a bit yellow into the second sector, but about 500 off. He can gain it if his final sector is good enough. Lukoski has proven that you can't just be good at one sector, you have to be good at a plethora, well, a variety of sectors really. Ben Skinner has gone purple into the middle sector, and that could be good enough to recover from his first sector for what has happened. But we'll see what the English driver can do. David de Vries punches taken up into 3rd place. Van der Smissen up into 7th. Ben Skinner seems to be into trouble if he can't improve here, but the Orbit Motorsports driver seems to be committed, and he's going to go for across the start line, and what will it be for the Englishman? Back up into the top 5 and displaces Cody Nikolakowski out to that position. Thijs Youngstra goes through to the line, and he'll join his teammate once again. I've realized Dan Hayek got across the line, and he's exactly the same time as Jonas Karla with a minute to go. But since Karla has set the time first, that means that he will take pole position.
Yeah, currently Jonas Karla has the fastest time of all of the drivers at the moment, and now he's gonna go for his final lap at the moment. He breaks through the 100 board. Now he's gonna go through the center curve as well, and very, very good entry, but a little bit of a scruffy exit. But now we're going through another chicane, braking at between 50 and 100. And he has a really good exit. He's close to the wall, but that means if you're close to the wall, you're pretty much on limit on the lap time as well. Now going through, there's so many chicanes here, but either way, now he's got the DRS on, and there's so many chicanes. There's no names for most of the chicanes, and he has every bit of work to do. Look at this first sector, but as I said, our first sector was good, but second sector is really bad. It has gone wrong for Jonas Karla, but at the moment he's holding on to pole position here, Amir.
Checker flags dropped. Dan Hayek into the pit, so that's his big target there into the pit. So that means that Jonas Karla, so Hayek isn't into the pit, so that means he can't improve whatsoever. But David de Vries still seems to be out, and he's going to try and do that. Christian Glamsetter hits the wall, and this is not going to be good. He's in quest to try and challenge Ben Skinner's championship lead. Through to the line he goes. He'll only remain in P13. Canalia goes through to the line. He'll be P14, and I think that will almost mark the end of qualifying. Leila Petraglia, meanwhile, has performed one of her best qualifying performances to date as she puts Hunter Bridge Simulation up at a P15. A rather impressive achievement there from the Italian driver, but she's not quite done yet as green into the middle sector that she's going to go. Just one more corner left, although I think she's called it in for the quits, I think, from the hairpin incident at the exit there. David de Vries yellow through the first two means that he is not going to improve at all. 1.5 seconds, and that will mean by the finest of margins, the closest that we have seen in this season though thus far. It is race 1 winner from Sepang, emerges himself as pole sitter for today here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as he and Dan Hayek look at that gap. That is incredibly impressive. It's going to bring us an absolute barnstormer of a race, I must say. David de Vries manages to get himself up into third with a last minute improvement, pushes himself away from Thijs Youngstra. They're about 7 thousandths actually at one point, but de Vries manages to capitalize that a little bit of a gap to ensure P3 was his. Thijs Youngstra is over at 4th with Ben Skinner at 5th for Obert Motorsports. The championship leader 7 points away from Christian Glomsetter at the moment. It's going to be very important for him that he can convert this into a race result. Cody Nikolakowski is 6th for Montreal with Francesco Grimlozzi, the academy driver from Kalami, as a last minute call for ST Racing. ST Racing has yet to score a point this so far, and the Italian driver doing very well up in the 7th. Giovanni Smithson for Vima Sanenz is also in 8th with Ricardo Busani for Camera Racing Team is over at 9th, with Pesi Mikkonen for Montreal completes her through to the top 10 here. Following through to the rest, through to 11th, we've got Mitja Lufnik from McKenna Racing, follows with Lucas Matlik for also another academy driver call up here from McManus Motorsports. Christian Glumcenter is 13th for Fox Esports, with Gianni Canali for Fritz Aaron 14th. Alay Petraglia for Hunter Bird Simulation completes her through the top 15. After that, we have Magnus Okana for Fox Esports with James Rockwell for Fritz Aaron 17th. Craig Parson for Priority 1 Esports is 18th, with Mark Salagi for Killer Racing's 19th. And Mika Kimi, the previous Race 1 winner, is starting 20th for Elk International. Falls through P21, we have his teammate Eamon Asadbeer with Alfie Denley behind for McManus Motorsports. Jacob Tanasco for GPVWC Academy's 23rd falls through with Dan Hutt outperforming his teammate as they're 24th and 25th respectively for Hot Performance Engineering. Resh Toma for Chimera is 26th with Jamie Clubb for McKenna in 27th. Hansko Mebus for ST Races 28th with Eric Brenner in 29th. David Junt is P30, and following through with our 31st car grid, Casper Kurtz did not complete a lap. So David Jan and Casper both did not complete laps, so that means that they'll be starting from the pits, I believe, for this race. But fantastic qualifying that has been. We've got just a brief, short 10-minute warm-up to kind of relax yourselves and get really prepared and really excited for what's to come here for the KU Grand Prix here. 21 laps for race 1, 17 for race 2, and with 13 corners for the drivers to navigate. It's the second smallest in this in the calendar. Only Monza has less corners than Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and it's also, I think, a pretty good one as well. I did mention before that these street circuit specialists really need to play their cards well here at Gilles Villeneuve, because the next street circuit is not going to be up until Marina Bay in Singapore. That is the 14th round, and we're already on round 6, so that's going to be a very, very big waiting distance for the 8 races between the next street circuits. And that's amazing, considering that we had Australia in round 1, and then we had Jeddah in round I think it was round 4, I believe. So yeah, so round 1, round 4, and round 6. So we were having like all these street circuits bundled together, and then there's like a very big distance, and you can definitely see, at least from the results and as well as the previous footage, that there are some drivers that do benefit a lot more in street circuits than permanent circuits. So they're going to really, really give it their all to maximize every opportunity they possibly can here, Juho.
Yeah, they're pretty much. Some of the drivers are really good at the street circuits than the permanent circuits. Of course, in street circuits you have a lot of possibility to overtake as well, but there's also going to be carnage, so that's why most of the people might benefit from these street circuits. And in the permanent circuits there is so much runoff as well, but either way, most of the people know the track as well, and they know how to drive it. So either way, street circuits, most of the drivers, it's a way to go. Either way. But look at the battling also in warm up as well. One of the elk drivers going into the back of the Mapes VO, and they're almost going 3 wide into the straight as well. Well, before the chicane. There's a lot of action happening on track at the moment, but either way, well, Canada's been a spectacle for GPVWC for a while, and of course the drivers as well. Most of them like Canada as well, and if you say Montreal is a bad track, then get out of GPVWC.
Look over into the driver standings at the moment, and well, I think I said like 7 points, but I was actually a bit off by a couple of places. The actual gap is, well, it says 7 here, 65 and 68. Okay, so I think one of them might be a bit wrong, but that's fine. But yeah, Ben Skinner leads, and the margins between himself and Glomstedt have been very, very narrow. You can see in the last 2 races, come in Jeddah and Sepang, that Glomstedt has actually outperformed Skinner in that, and well, Skinner has effectively had the championship lead since Melbourne. So one bad move here for Skinner, and that lead could be handed over to Glomstedt. Casper Kurtz, meanwhile, has been a bit of an up and down season for himself, so he's going to hope that a good turn of fortunes here in Montreal could be enough to get himself back up on track. But he has to be wary of emerging Jonas Karla, who's after that race win and now a pole position here in Montreal. He seems to be in place to take P3 away from Casper, who's starting all the way in last as well. So we'll see how that Ober Motorsports driver does. Cody Nikolakowski, who's done very, very well, is still looking for his first win, and he's been so very close in recent times. The one that came to most has been, I think, Bahrain and also Suzuka, but unfortunately has just never really quite been for the North Macedonian driver. So he's going to hope that Montreal will be enough to maybe clinch that accolade that he's been very eagerly trying to achieve. Thijs Youngstra, who's done very, very well, did get a podium in Sepang, so he's he's looking for his first race win as well, and he's been very capable of doing so we'll see how that goes for him. Cervinski was a no-show back in Sepang, so he's going to try and recover that form that is on at the start of the season, which he had 2 podiums in the first 2 races. Dan Hayek again, first win, which was an impressive there from the Czech driver, and that momentum definitely continues on for Moldova Drive. Youngster and Hayek have done so well that actually they could be in good chance to take over not only just Priority 1 but challenge Fox Esports for P2 if their momentum continues to stand. Magnus Ogenhaug, I don't think had the same luck as his teammate in Gladstone at the moment, but he's doing still fine about a 9th. And Mika Kimi has, well, similar to Savinsky, has also had a bit of an up and down momentum. This has been a little bit of a struggle for Kimi after that qualifying session, especially when you consider his race one victory last year. But I have been told by Mika himself as team boss that he is racing a bit with the sickness. So I hope the Malaysian driver is doing all well. And yeah, big thanks, Mika. Love you.
Yeah, either way, Mika Kimi is always a fighter, and all the time he is always a fighter. That's all I can say. I've seen him race in other series as well, but to be fair, there is so much to look for in him. So honestly, I hope he's gonna get that race win in a while or so, because as you may know, Amir, he's a really great racing driver as well. He used to race at one of the Toyota Malaysia championships as well. I don't remember if he races anymore, but either way, I think you know how good Mika is on track, how his consistency is. Of course, round 3 and round 4 there's no points, but either way, last round was a very great show from him, honestly. Even though I'll say this with respect, even though he might have had luck on his side on race 1, he still performed really good. He almost pressurized Jonas, because he was catching Jonas every single bit of time as well, but it was not enough. But either way, I think, you know, if I had to choose one driver to look out for, I think it's going to be Jonas Karla, Dan Hayek, and that's Youngstrom and Mika Kimi as well.
We'll see how that goes. Big thanks to Chris Williamson for the race control. He can confirm to us the very fine margins that we've had actually between them. So he said the timing goes to an extra hidden decimal place. Jonas was 1:27.0310 and Dan was 1:27.1314. So that is super close. That is, my goodness me, that's like what, 4/10,000ths? 4/10,000ths of a second between, or not 4/10,000ths, it's like 4, I don't know how to say it.
4/10,000.
Looking for.
I'll just say 4/10,000ths or something, or
So something like that, but something a bit like that. But oh boy, a warm up is almost coming to an end. I forgot to do my usual shebang, which is looking at websites of what they're going to be. So what is Circuit Villeneuve going to... I don't think they would have that, because it's, as I said, it's a public park by day. So it's not the Circuit Villeneuve, it's known as the Parc Jean Drapeau. And as I said previously, Expo 67 Island, as Montreal held the World's Fair at that time. It's also what brought us well, it's not what brought us, but it also helped fund a lot of things around us, including the biosphere, which is what F1 broadcasting would often overlook in this place. I've actually been to the biosphere as well. It promotes a lot of sustainable energy, and during that time of 67, I think it's been quite ahead of its time as an advocate for green energy. So I thought that was pretty cool. Bad news, well, not bad news, but at least from what I can see, most of it is in French. So I'm not going to say can't be bothered. I just don't want to offend people to really say this. They've got what do they have? They got toilets, which is great. What else do they have? I know none of these. Oh, it's inaccessible between the 9th to the 31st. Why is that? Oh yeah, the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm a moron. It's it will open back up
What?
on for anyone that lives in Canada. Maxime, I'm looking at you. It opens at the 1st of June 2026.
I'm sorry. Why were we talking about toilets?
Yep.
I'm sorry, but why?
Yeah. Big thanks as well to Lorenzo. Lorenzo, I think, has missed, missed the Pangano is also missing this one as well. He will be back for the next race, I believe. But to Lorenzo, hello. Hope you're doing well. And to all the viewers, Alex, hello. If you're a commentator, I would happily drag you in, and you can translate whatever is on this. Oh no, you're French. You're not Quebec French. So that's so you're actually no use.
It is
Sorry
so
about that.
different. It is very different.
It is. It
I'll
is very
offen-
different.
I
You'll
will
offend-
offend him with that. I'll offend him with the Quebecois.
Oh wait, no, it's English. There we go. I found an English website of it. Oh my goodness me, what a spin that is. Oh, is qualifying over and done with? Oh yeah, qualifying is pretty much over.
It's already
last-
been over.
Oh yeah,
It's warm up.
yeah, it is. It is warm up. Oh yeah, there's the lake as well. The lake that's inside the circuit. You can go. You can do a lot of stuff there. I think F1 used to do like a little bit of a fun race. Yeah, you can see it just behind the trees. But the 50th anniversary celebrates Olympic Games, continuing with the discovery at the Parc Jean Chaput. Boats of the Bassin, enjoy athletes' music, reads music, food and greetings, and activities in a festive, family-friendly atmosphere. I think this has probably been probably one of the more coherent websites that I've seen. I don't know. Chat, if you think that what I'm doing is good for the robots, please let me know in the description below. Otherwise, I will happily stop doing this and maybe think of something else to do. I was thinking rates is like you have to pay to be in a public park, but no, it said rates. It's like free. It's like free. I was like, yeah, you can free to walk. Yeah, thank you very much, Montreal government. Not why is Alex not racing? I have no earthly idea.
I don't know,
Carlos,
Carlo.
isn't he? I cannot answer that. I cannot answer that.
I can't
Come
answer.
on.
We can't really answer that.
Oh, even Mace is watching.
Oh my goodness! Even Maxime as well.
I name called you. I name called him. God
That
damn it.
was.
Who
Well,
was he
excuse,
gonna active for public
well,
transport?
excuse your
Actually-
French as well.
Actually, very fun fact. Very fun fact. I'm not gonna swear. I've done that before, and I'm not doing it again. Very fun fact. The Montreal Metro is doesn't actually is not actually on rails. It's actually on tires, and it's very weird to say that, but the wheels are circular. They're not like any fancy technology stuff. But I think I have relatives that live in Montreal, and the explanations that they gave was it was because it would be easier on snow. And I think that myself that's pretty interesting. Or maybe it's not interesting, but who am I to talk?
Anyways, warm up is just ending right now. I'm sorry what you had to hear from Amir as well, as well one of the. Wait, is that the Emerald Overdrive car? Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's clearly an Orbit Motorsports. Are you blind? Oh my goodness me! He's
Oh,
gone into the Massa into 2014. Oh,
I
by
told
Steve
you it was.
Wall.
I told you it was
WT's
Emerald Overdrive.
Therefore, he is better than Felipe Massa. My goodness me! And with
My
all that
goodness
waffling,
gracious.
it means that what?
My goodness gracious, we everybody's now gonna line up on the grid, and now everybody's gonna go on track, like right now.
Alex the host said GPVWC Montreal, but cars are going to line up for to the grid. 21 laps are among us here. 31 cars are going to slowly start their stake to start to their lining up position as we await to see who will emerge victorious here in race one. As we wait for that moment until they line up. And the cars have lined up onto the grid, and with that in mind, we're going to slowly start our starting grid animation. We get to see between Hayek and Corrala very, very fine margins here. Again, we've already discussed about how close it was, but it is the Finnish driver that has emerged victorious and has come out on top, and as such, he'll be starting on pole position once again. Previously in Sopanen, he'll do so once again in Montreal. Dan Hayek will join alongside him in second place. David de Vries VUS Sutter, it's his best qualifying position since Albert Park, I believe, with Titus Youngster for Emerald Overdrive is over at fourth. Second and fourth, the highest places for the American outfit at the moment. Orbit Motorsports has Ben Skinner, championship leader, and fifth with Cody Nikolakowski alongside him in sixth, second time that they share a row together in Sopanen. Francisco Romolsi is over in seventh, with Justin Van der Smissen in eighth. Ricardo Bassani for Camera Racing Team is ninth, with Pessi Mikkonen from HCO is 10th. Mitchell Lufnik from McKenna Racing is 11th, with Lucas Metlik from McManus Motorsports is over in 12th. Christian Glomsetter for Fox Esports is 13th, with Johnny Canali for Fretchenera is in 14th. Leila Petraglia is 15th, with Magnus Ockenhag over at 16th. Following through with 17th, we have James Woodcock for Fretchenera, with Craig Patterson in 18th for Priority 1. Mark Zalagi for Killer Races 19th, with Eamon Aseber completes for the top 20 for Elk International. Following through, P21st is Jacob Tanasco, with Dan Hott for Hot Performances 22nd. Amir Haznik for Hot Performance Engineers 23rd, with Al Dunley in 24th. Resh Toma for Camera Racing is 25th, with Jamie Club from McKenna Races 26th. Hansel Meebus is 27th with ST Racing, with Eric Brenner from Hunter Simulation is 28th. David Yunt is 29th, followed with Casper Curtis in P30, and Mika Hakime I think broke Park Femme, so he'll be starting P31st. I've just realised Eric Brenner's penalty has not been applied for this race. We should be starting in the back after suffering from a 36 grid penalty. I don't think that's happened, but I've seen the server has switched around, so I think we're waiting for another starting grid procedure, unfortunately. And yeah, we have confirmation the server has indeed died and has been rebooted, so we're having a little bit of a short warm-up before we go into a race server. Once again, deeply apologies for the server connection issues, everyone, but we should be back up and running with the GPV race director definitely working overtime here, but 31 cars here, just missing one driver from the academy team, I believe, and very exciting to see what we're going to witness for here today.
Yep, we are gonna witness some chaos, carnage, and well, classic FS2 racing as well.
I just read your comment. It caught me off a little bit because you just like stunts. I was like, why would you say that when I'm doing the formation lap? It makes no sense. Why the Amir hate, everyone? Is it justified? Is it justified? Right? Yes or no in the comments.
No, just do that for fun. Out of the way. Love you, Amir.
You. We're just we're waiting on a few minutes, but boy, this is I think this is the second time that I've come through this issue, but I think these things like this happen indeed, but it nonetheless doesn't nullify the excitement that we're going to see for the 21 laps that will feature 17 laps for sprints here. Just give us a little bit of a short while, and then we'll be able to see the cars line up once again, and then we'll probably do the formation lap over again, and then we'll see if those positions like that indeed do still stand. You've raced in Montreal before, haven't you, Juho? What would you say is the biggest what would you say is your favorite thing and your least favorite thing about Montreal?
I think honestly, my favorite thing about Montreal is the straights, and my least favorite thing about Montreal is the amount of chicanes you got.
What?
Wait, you didn't hear that?
Repeat.
The only things I like about Montreal, this track, is about only the straights and some of the corners. But I don't like the amount of chicanes we've got on this track.
You don't like chicanes?
I'm just joking. The track is actually good, so there's no hate about this track.
Well, no. The tracks are subjective. You can like or hate a track no matter what. Like Remco, say something bad about this track.
See, he loves the track. Remco says he loves the track. I love the track as well. I was just joking about it. I'm not really hating on it, so.
Tracks are subjective. You can like hate or like whatever track you want, and well, it's just everyone doesn't want to say anything ill about this track, but I digress. As Carlos says, bruh, yeah, indeed, that's how I feel as well at the moment.
Come on, Carlos and Amir. Don't feel like that. Just feel positive about this track.
No, I think it's just I don't know if it's brought to my comment or is it just brought to. There's nothing bad to say. Okay, Hogstra has probably said that as well, but that's fair enough. I think everyone has had to say that. I think I'm just an unk or a boomer, which is weird because Remco's literally older than me and Wope is also older than me. But
we've actually moved to. Wait, did we actually move to race session, Remco? We did.
Oh yeah, we did. We've moved now to a race session, so everyone's going to start to line up. We'll get for another short graphic, and then we'll get to see all 31 cars line up again for the second time in a row. Big apologies, but we trust me that the wait is definitely going to be worth it. The cars are starting to line up on the grid, and with that in mind, with everyone seeming to be, all wrap up and running, we're going to go through the starting grid one more time, and we'll see if the grid is the way it still stands. Jonas Karola, again, takes through pole position for Priority 1 Esports for the second time ever. Dan Hayek joins alongside for Moldova Drive in second. David De Vries for Mian San Edison in third, with Thijs Youngstra holds the American outfit to their highest best performance in qualifying so far this season. Ben Skinner for Motorsports is fifth, with Conny Nicola Koski in sixth for MapeCO. Francisco Grimlotzi for his debut in FS2 is 7th for ST Racing, and Justin Van Smissen is up in the top 8. Ricardo Pisani for Camera Racing Team is 9th, with Pesi Mikkonen for MapeCO is 10th. Mitja Lufnik for McKenna Racing is 11th, Zlutis Matulik is 12th. Christian Glomsetter for Fox Esports is in 13th, with Adriani Canalia for Frechenera is 14th. Leda Petraglia competes through the top 15 for 100% Simulation, with Magnus Oknag in 16th for Fox Esports. Frechenera holds James Rookway in 17th, with Priority 1 Esports owner Craig Patterson is 18th, as he follows through with Mark Salagi for 19th. And over in P21st, it was Jacob Tanasco, Dan Hutt in 22nd, Amir Azik in 23rd, and Alfie Danley in 24th. Through into 25th, it is Resh Toma for Camera Racing Team, with Jamie Klopp in 26th. Hansco Mebus is 27th, with Eric Brenner in 28th for 100% Simulation. Follows through with that, we have got David Junt for Killer Racing 29th. Casper Kurtz is P30 for Orbit Motorsports, and Mika Kimi, I think, has broken park for me, so he'll be starting at the back.
Hopefully today's going to be much more less chaotic than Malaysia. Do you agree with me, Amir?
I can't answer that. I want to, but I do not want to curse whatsoever. I think it'll just be a pretty fun endeavor with 21 laps to go. And I think that since these cars are going to be a bit small, we're going to see a lot of overtakes as well. I think have seen that before in the past, especially when I commentated in FS2 with Toby Davis last year. It was proper fun, and I'm going to expect to see exactly the same here together again. Jonas Karla Everyone else are going to look for the starting lights to come on. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And we're going to see who can make victorious in the Canadian Grand Prix. The lights are out and here we go. Jonas Carla does a very good start, does his best to fend off from Dan, and will do so into the first corner. But look at Dan, his sheer commitment right over out.
Wow.
It's through the first corner, and Dan gets himself up into first place. Jonas Carla is absolutely dumbfounded by that, as he's in the midst between the Emerald Overdrive sandwich and a dream start for the American outfit, as they've got exactly what they want at the right time. Further on back, you can see that is Cody Nikolakowski trying his best to make an overtake against David DeVry right at the very end of it, looking for an overtake for the chicane, unable to do so, as Hayek is still managing to gap a little bit, coming over to 6 tenths, 7 tenths, almost out of DRS range already from the Czech driver, and it's massively impressive. We've already got a yellow flag into the second sector. We've got someone dropping that leg. I think that was dropping just a little bit, but I think everyone seems to be a little bit flying. Youngster very under heavy pressure from Ben Skinner, though, who's already made up a place from David DeVry, who's dropped down to 5th under pressure from Lukowski and Grimnozzi. But here we go, Ben Skinner over into the hairpin. That is Lukowski making his way up into P5, and Ben Skinner looking up ahead. That's Carla struggling a bit on the hairpin, and he's going to be under immense pressure now from Youngster. Right on the exit now onto the casino straight. That is one of the Fox Esports drivers, I think, touching a little bit of grass. Indeed, the race will still go on. No one with real heavy effects at the moment. Don't see any retirements at the moment. Francisco under pressure there, as Van der Smith has made a massive improvement now, as the VMS and Eds are going to be pressuring Nikolowski, as Francesco gets some airtime on the sausage curb, and everyone is going to complete for one lap. Dan Hayek leads, Corrales second, Youngstra third, Skinner fourth, David DeVry fifth, and Francesco under pressure from Ricardo Pisani is going to hold into the inside line. And look at that, the Camaro Racing team does manage to push himself up into eighth. A good start in Sepang, and an even better one here in Montreal for the Gold Racing team. Fantastic start, I must say, though, from Hayek, and a fantastic race from all these drivers so far to keep it clean.
Yeah, that was in sector 1, but the drivers involved in that crash was, well, Patterson's out. Patterson's out.
Yeah,
okay, I want to finish this, but it seems like there was 4 cars involved in it. It was Asabir, and there was Toma, Brenner, and there was one of the other cars as well. But we get a replay from the broadcast as well, as we see Patterson going a bit squirrely on the first corner.
He's just losing it on turn 2, I wonder. No, he didn't.
Oh.
He's holding on to the brakes, and that's unfortunately seems to be a time that seems to be a hardware issue. My goodness me. So that was what was happening behind. That was one of the hot performance drivers making contact, and this is Craig Patterson holding onto the inside line. Swing inside. Oh, hits contact there. That was what happened to Asabir at the minute, and lost his front wing. There's nothing Craig Patterson could do, was just simply slid out from that really aggressive overtake attempt. And unfortunately, that's what cost a lot of people out. Rersh, Thomas, Salagi, and Brenna all come into the pits as well. So we'll see how that goes on. Look at this. Yatai Junction is going to try his best to follow along for his teammate. Emin Overdrive have no signs of slowing down after race 2 at Sepang. And this is going to be very important for their momentum, as Jonas Carla seems to bit a little bit on his own now that Craig Parson has retired. And he's going to do his absolute best to try and push himself away. And more importantly, hope that Ben Skinner could maybe aid him a little bit in some way. Alfie Denley into the inside plate of Petraglia, who's already lost it. Grigson hits the wall, and she will drop down a couple of places as a result of that contact. And it's now going to be under pressure from Dan Hutt, though, and Jamie Klump. But very unfortunate for Lena. After a fantastic qualifying, she's already dropped 3 places.
Yeah, unfortunate for Lena though. She got a bit squirrely after Alfie Denley made an overtake. Hopefully there's no hard feelings between them. But either way, currently, yeah, 1 second gap between Dan Hayek and Jonas Carla. And look at this, Ben Skinner kind of going squirrely on the exit of the hairpin. Now is trying to bounce on to Thijs Youngstra. He's got the DRS as Thijs Youngstra tries to get up to second place. He has pressured Carla to pretty much defend a lot. And in these opening stages, it's going to be an Emerald Overdrive 1-2 at the moment. And now we are going to lap 4 of the race. So it's going to be Dan Hayek, Thijs Youngstra, Jonas Carla, and Ben Skinner, your top 4. Currently, at the moment, Thijs Youngstra has the DRS, so does Ben Skinner. Skinner does not have the overlap to make a move on Jonas Carla, as David DeVry tries to find a way past Ben Skinner, but he realizes there's no overlap. And unfortunately, there's another yellow flag. It's one of the cars that's dropped down. I don't know who was that, but Jamie Klump has gained a position from that yellow flag. That's Dan Hutt that's lost a position, and he's under pressure from the academy car. And yeah, pretty much a calm but chaotic start from this race. As we see a replay, Dan Hutt is battling with one of the Elks as well. And here we go. What's going to happen here? Oh, spin! He avoids the wall. Well, touches a little bit, but that's not going to give any damage as well. But an unfortunate start for Dan Hutt as well. And we see Magnus Ockenhaug trying to make a move on James Rockway here. And Rockway honestly thinks that everything's going fine, except there's a wild Fox Esports behind, as Ben Skinner is now going to try to do a move down the inside of Jonas Kaudela, but backs out of it because this is a risky corner to take to make an overtake. And yeah, honestly saying, Amir, again, a pretty chaotic start, but still calm in the front pages. But look at this, Kurt Nikolakowski makes the move on David De Vries, as David De Vries locked up a little bit, but hangs on now to 6th. And doesn't he doesn't go wide, as everything seems to be fine at the moment. And I mean, again, as I say for the 3rd time now, calm but chaotic start.
5 out of 21. Hakimi has gained the most amount of places with 12 faults with Casper Kurtz after start from the back. He's up in the P21 after starting P31st. But the race will, as he said, will still go on. Jonas Karla doing his absolute best to keep the pressure onto Thijs Youngstra, but Youngstra is not going to have the DRS from his teammate as Hayek is pulling away. Ben Skinner did his absolute best to try and make an overtake into the Quebec wall, the wall of champion chicane. But alas, it was not to be, and now Karla seems to be all at the back end of the Emerald Overdrive of Thijs Youngstra. Through to the Casino Straight they're going to go, and Karla is going to try and use the DRS to put himself at some aid to go side by side with the Dutchman and with the slip shim at hand. It could be a very easy overtake for Jonas that he can do to punch himself up in between the Emerald Overdrive and delay that advantage that they had, and through to the inside he goes with the hefty use of the curb. As you can see, that everyone's just using and just go completely airborne, but a great overtake by Karala regardless, and he's up in the second at the moment. Thijs Youngstra finds himself behind him, and he has to think about a new way to try and overtake him to apply the pressure. Jamie Klump, who was a bit of under pressure from, I think it was Dan Hutt that had the incident, finds himself being overtaken by Casper Kurtz. Laila Petraglia is going to be the next on Casper's lips, but nothing that Jamie can try to see if he can retaliate over to turn 1, through over to turn 2, and it's not going to be looking likely, as Eastern is going to do his absolute best to pull away. Still up 6 out of 21, Juho, and seems to be that we can sort of see battles starting to brew underneath our noses.
Yeah, pretty much the battles are starting to brew out of our noses at the moment, and Jamie Klump currently just trying to put the pressure on Casper Kurtz. Casper Kurtz has had a up and down season at the moment, and unlikely it's going to be points for him unless there's going to be some carnage as well. And well, Casper is pretty much on point with the lines as well, and very good driving from him. But either way, as we see a battle ahead, I just saw Kinalia and Glamstedt exchanging positions. And right now, Glamstedt trying to put the pressure on James Rockway. Andre Kinalia, my apologies. And they are wheel to wheel, very close wheel to wheel. And well, Kinalia has to cut the chicane as well. And now that allows Rockway to move up to 14th. And a very risky move to go through that chicane. So I don't know what was Kinalia thinking of making a move down around the outside onto that chicane. And there's contact, but seems to be everybody's fine. And the battle's emerging again onto our noses, basically. Mikkonen goes around the outside. Wait, actually, no.
Oh,
Defense.
dear.
Oh dear, this is going to be a big one. If I say much more of it, it's going to be a big one, for sure.
Oh, look at this down to the inside. You can see Rockway holds it in with a great overtake. That was against Lubnik for P13, but finds himself a bit under pressure. Bit of contact as well. Further back over as Lubnik finds himself squeezed between Glanzetzer and Rockway. Is it going to try and commit to an and he's not. He's going to back off to it and hold on to P15 at the moment. And this all battling is going to allow for Mika Kime up into 17th and Alfie Genley into 18th as well. So these two are going to be big beneficiaries of this one. The race still going to go on between Rockwai and Ockenhag. And look at this. He's going to do his best to look around for the outside of the hairpin, but Ockenhag hugs onto the inside line. And a bit of a poor exit there by Rockwai from banging the front wing. And that has allowed for, look at this, right on exit from Luvnik to get up at the P14 potentially, and side by side. And Rockwai using the slip shape means that he's able to push it up ahead. In fact, it could be looking for a slingshot overtake for P13. My goodness me, that's so
No!
He spins round onto the chicane, and that might make him lose a couple of positions. And indeed it does so. He's down to 17 and still might be dropping, Juho.
Yeah, he's dropping a little bit right now. Hakimi has got past Mika Luving. Now Alfie Denley and Leila Petralia are trying to, how do I say this, close up to Luving right now. Luving has to now defend from them like a black pig. I'm sorry to say this, but it is kind of true at the moment. At the moment, Mika Luving still putting pressure on Mika Hakimi. Can he make a move down the inside? Look at the exit from here. And look at this. Down the inside goes Mika Luving, and they make contact. And then, oh, there's another pair of contact as well. But Mika Hakimi has emerged worse of it. He's going to lose 2 positions. Actually, no, 1 position. But either way, Mika Luving with that aggressive while rubbing his racing move, and pretty much cements 16th place at the moment. And Petralia is really squirrely on the exit at the moment. But now it's going to be a pretty much a train behind Mika Luving as Hakimi goes down the inside of Leila Petralia. Petralia makes contact with Mika Luving, and Luving drops down a place only. And that's actually good for him, because now he's gonna get the slipstream as Mika Hakimi gets the DRS. A bit of a massive move there from Mika Hakimi, but either way, there's nothing to worry about, because Luving is now gonna do a dive bomb down the inside into the Quebec wall, and makes a brilliant move from that chicane. And Hakimi has nothing; he cannot respond to that. And now Petralia is gonna try to make a move down the inside. Hakimi is now under pressure right now, and either way, Petralia still is in 18th, and Hakimi holds on to 17th. The battles are emerging here, but it's not over yet, because there is now a massive gaggle of cars, and Petralia hits the wall, and Kasper Courage will go down the inside and makes the move up to 18th. Has avoided the chaos, but now he is up to 18th, and the yellow flag is in sector 2, it seems like, and I can't see who's dropping down. There was a brief yellow flag, but hopefully we know who the driver is at some point, as Alfie Denley now capitalizes on Leila's mistake, as that's actually David Jont without a front wing. David Jont has lost a front wing, and let's see the replay here. Going through the, how many chicanes are there? Oh, he spins and he hits the wall. That's unfortunate for the German driver and the veteran of GPVWC. And unfortunately, David Jones has to go back to the pits and replace his front wing. And if he continues to race, good for him, as Luving has made the move down on Hakimi, but Kinali is dropping. Kinali has dropped down places after places after places, but managed to rejoin, or has he retired? Yeah, he has retired.
No, he's retired. That's our second retirement of this race for the Italian, and that was in contact, I think, with Rockwai. Rockwai was just alongside ahead of him, so if this contact between teammates, it would be very unfortunate if that was the case.
No.
It could well seem to be the case for Argenera.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's just very unfortunate. Canale with eating too much curve, unable to control it through to the second corner. And, well, that's just very unfortunate there. Canale, I think, could have it controlled if it just... He was really committed to the corner, but a very hefty knock on the curb, and it's a whole lap to go back in. That is a very dangerous place to park as well. So it does make sense why he called it in for a retirement for Andrea. So unfortunately, Rockwai is going to be the sole generic driver to score points at this rate, but the race was still going ahead as Jonas Carlo retakes second place back from Youngstra. But Youngstra is going to do his best to reclaim it back through to second place. P4 of the Wall of Champions, and indeed he will do so. And it's a very crucial second place regain from Youngster for this battle for P2, and also for Ben Skinner. Cody Nikolakowski as well behind. Heading over down to the first corner, Tice Youngster doing his absolute best to keep hold of it. Tice Youngster goes, Jonas Karla goes a little bit sideways, a little bit behind Tice, but still keeps it aiming straight, which is very, very crucial, very, very important as Tice leads through this amazing little snake right here. But fantastic race that we're seeing at the lead. Tyne Hayek, meanwhile, has got 2.4 seconds, so he's completely gapping his teammate. But Ben Skinner looking his best to hold it to the inside line, able to do so. Is that going to be the opportunity that Cody needs to get himself up to P4? It won't be, but he will have the DRS. David and Free will have the DRS, and Jonas Karla will have the DRS. Look at this, absolute calamity here, heading into the second sector. Ben Skinner down side by side. He gets himself into P3 for the first time this race, and Cody Nikolakowski, unable to take advantage of that, finds himself behind Jonas. Unfortunately from Jonas, from starting from pole all the way down to fourth, and he could be losing even more places here, Juho. Looking to the outside of the hairpin, but Jonas fights back as he holds on right into the middle, almost sheer commitment into Ben Skinner. Unable to do so though. Ben Skinner is still to the third. Jonas Karla down to the fourth. Cody Nikolakowski still holding on the fifth.
Jonas has the DRS right now, and Cody Nikolakowski has also the DRS right now. Now we go through the straight, and now does Jonas have the overlap? They almost touch. They're wheel to wheel. They touch! They touch! Ben Skinner has completely misjudged the defense there, and Jonas Karla goes down many places right now. Well, not many places as he almost...
That was so close. Nearly hit the contact of debris though. Cody Nikolakowski swings his way to the outside of Ben Skinner. Unable to do so though. That could have ended horribly between Corral and David debris. But sheer quick reactions prevented for what could have been an absolute disaster. A complete disaster though happened in the background though. Yellow flag in the sector 1. Who is that dropping? We're not sure yet at the moment.
Bessie's dropping.
Yeah, it's Pressy that is dropping. He's dropping very, very fast as Cody Nikolakowski up into fourth. His teammate has gone out of the points, and very, very unfortunate for Makesfield. And he's on fire and without a front wing. My goodness me, that is a hefty crash to let you know. And a quick replay may be able to show what is happening to the Finnish driver.
I wonder if there was call. Oh no, this is 3 wide. It's not gonna go well. Let's see what happens here.
No, it's too wide.
It's now 2 wide at the moment. Everything seems to be fine. Bessie's given the position back. Oh, come on! I have no words for that. I'm sorry.
What happened? Did he... What?
That was possibly Alfie Denley that made contact with Bessie. That was not... That was...
Could look behind for the rear wing, maybe, if that's possible.
What?
Oh dear!
Oh
no,
my
it's just
goodness gracious!
It's tunnel vision. Lack of peripheral vision was just clearly eyeing ahead and just misjudged how close Pesci was. It wasn't at all Alfie Denley's.
No intention
to do that. But, yeah, Lunik has also dropped off as well, so yeah, very, very unfortunate. But the fortunately race will still go on. But yeah, we'll see what the disciplinary committee will see the light of that incident. But we'll look over at lap 13 out of 21. Ben Skinner third, Cody Nikolakowski fourth, Jonas Karla fifth, and David DeVries sixth. Another yellow flag into the third sector with a bit of a nervous lap to we could be seeing our third time. That's late up I think that's that is dropping off the order, which is super unfortunate. She's down to 23rd, so already big devastations there from the Italian driver, but we'll see what goes on ahead. She's out. She's retired. That's another retirement.
Oh my goodness!
Sideways on the chicane, and that's allowed him to get himself under pressure from David de Vries.
Yep, that's gonna be a bit of a pressure from David de Vries. He thinks better of it, at least at the moment, because he will have the DRS, but most importantly, he's not now close enough for the massive slipstream, as Jonas has the slipstream from Cody. And David right now just trying to capitalize on everything that's happening right now. But apologies to the viewers about that. I thought it was Alfie Denley, but it was actually Machulik, but it was peripheral vision. So yeah, unfortunate. And I don't know. It's a racing incident in my opinion, either way. And as Jonas gets closer and closer to Ben Skinner and Cody Nikolakowski, we got another set of yellows in sector 2. Right now, and that's Toma. Toma's dropping down.
Oh, very unfortunate.
and it's gonna hit the wall if I just saw that right.
Oh, Amir Hazik is into the pits, so he's also sustained some damage as well. But quick replay from Rash Toma, looking on the exit there. I think it's his second time driving the FS2 cars. Oh, he's suffering from a bit of an issue.
I think he's had a wheel issue. Oh, he almost got the anti-stall on. Yeah, Rares has complained about wheel issues lately. I wonder if that's a wheel issue. I think.
This is under pressure from one of the hot performance drivers. Hits the curb.
Oh, no!
That is a hefty impact into the. That was a bit of a reactionary, I think, there from Layla, and loses the front wing and complete crabbing there from the Italian driver. Clearly has the frustrations with Dan Hart with that contact, but I don't think that was the right call for her to do there, I'm afraid.
Nah. I don't know. I think it was the steering as well, but I think it was a bit of frustration there.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
It could have been the steering as well, because you've got the crabbing as well. At the moment, let's focus on this battle here again. Jonas Garo is still hounding on Cody Nikola Lutkovsky. Lutkovsky is currently in P4, and at the moment he's trying to fight and trying to get closer to Ben Skinner as well. But Jonas, as we know, he is a fighter. He has that fighting spirit. He's always throwing the punches and also defending from those punches as well. And at the moment, we're seeing how he's gonna pounce onto Cody Nikola Lutkovsky here and Ben Skinner as well. I know he's done a bit of mistakes, Jonas, but either way, he never gives up until the end of the race. He never gives up on this, because either way, a racing spirit has to have this never give up mentality as well. As we saw for a brief moment that we're going to be side by side, Jonas and Cody is pretty far away from Ben Skinner, so there's no way of making a move down the inside or around the outside. He is getting close, but not close enough at the moment, as Jonas and Cody, they are pretty much on par in pace at the moment, as Brzani has overtaken looks to be like Machulik, and obviously I have to get my breath back, because we've seen it already a really chaotic lap 16 laps of this race, and honestly it has been a very great race already. And unfortunately for Jonas, it hasn't been the best of it at the moment, as David Prix is trying to put on pressure onwards to Jonas, and Jonas has to pretty much try to get away from David Prix and follow Cody, Ben. Well, that's only the two of them, just Ben and Cody basically, and David's just following Jonas. He's doing a supreme job at following these three out in front as well. And also another driver that's joining in is Francesco Grimalizzi, and he's done an amazing job in his debut as well, and currently looks to be scoring his best result in FS2 and his first points as well in his first race. So yeah, hats off to him, but there is still 6 laps to go. I got to knock on wood as well, because I don't want to jinx it. But anyways, we're on lap 17 of the race, as Glamsetter is under pressure from... Oh no, he's actually attacking Machulik currently, and he makes the move stick. That's very vital for his championship as well, but not really helping for his championship. He needs to be much more higher to still defend from losing points to Ben Skinner, but at the moment he's risking himself to lose more points than Ben Skinner.
Look at this over Mickey Kimi and Kasper Kuritz. Both of them have gained a net 15 positions since the start of the race, and they're going to be battling out for the final points scoring position at the moment. If they can continue to cooperate, maybe they can catch up to Rukwai, who's currently at the 14th, and they'll both have a chance of getting that reverse grid pole position lottery. But we'll see how that pairs off between the Estonian and the Malaysian, both very phenomenal drivers so far here at Montreal with the overtakes that they've managed to pull off throughout the field. And anticipation still looms and still breeds to see what could possibly happen. Dan Hayek has now managed to get ahead about 2.5 seconds, nearly 3 seconds it was. But that gap has now gone down to 1.8 seconds as Thijs Youngstra is now kind of letting his heart down and trying to get his best on his pace. Cody Nikolakowski, meanwhile, makes the overtake against Ben Skinner, and Jonas Carlo, meanwhile, third at back, continues to keep his defense up against David de Vries. Now, Cody Nikolakowski gets into the podium places for the first time ever this race, as Ben Skinner's left laundry to see if there's a response they could possibly do. David de Vries down to the inside onto turn one, able to do so. He is not close enough to make the move against Jonas, and Jonas kind of senses it and holds on to the middle of the track in that fantastic defense of his, as he's doing his absolute best to try and convert his pull into as maximum points as he possibly can. Rockwai up ahead against Casper Kurtz, who's got himself up at a P14, and Kamika's going to look back at this and watch this battle unfold. James swings his round for the outside into turn one. He's going to hold to the inside of turn two. That is sheer commitment there by the British driver, giving it his absolute all against the Estonian, and it's still going to be going side by side as they perch for the first chicane onto the track here, as Casper does his absolute best to hold it up through and just about giving about enough room against James, but James finds himself under pressure from Mika Kimi as he's going to follow through. Mika almost looks to the inside up against Casper, unable to do so. James is going to swing right for the outside. They both make a little bit of contact. Rockwell comes worst of it. He's off into the grass, and Mika will say thank you very much. He'll happily take P15.
Oh my goodness gracious! It was going to be a massive airplane crash if they were going to have a send into that chicane as well. But Mika Kimi really great capitalizing as well. And for James, unfortunately, he has lost position, as Jonas has lost a position to David de Vries as well. And now, and he's cut a corner as well. So I think Jonas is having much more trouble with his car as well. But further ahead, Ben Skinner and Cody Nikolakowski, they're trying to battle themselves out, and Cody might be taking a podium out on this race as well, considering his pace is on rails at the moment.
Yep. Still a couple of laps left to go, though, and you can sort of see the desperation filling in the eyes of Cody, of Justin, of David, of Jonas, as they can all sort of start to feel like if they don't make any actions now, this is where the positions were going to be. As Chench up ahead, Casper makes the overtake against Mika, who was briefly at P14 at one point, and the battle between these two is going to continue on ahead, but they need to be very careful about Rockwai, who can well and truly take their point scoring chances away from them. So they need to be very, very careful in terms of how they attack and how they're going to go side by side between each other. And Mika and Casper are definitely going to keep a very, very close eye on track of that, as it is three green teams battling out for 14th, 15th and 16th. And this is going to be a very, very close fight to watch. Mika keep just a little bit onto the grass, though. James can just sort of sense P15 looming in the background, but can't really do much anything about it as he bangs into the wall on exit.
Yep, either way, now we're going to see a battle between Ben Skinner. Actually, it's finished now, because Koenig Lutkowski has gone through Ben Skinner. Oh, there's contact! Big contact between David de Vries and Francesco Grimalizzi. And David de Vries out! He's got no rear tire! And Grimalizzi has lost the front wing as well. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, that's fortunate there for Prima Sundance, because they were doing so very well. And now it's kind of ending in complete heartbreak here, and the replay could confirm what we have seen. And Grimanizzi, no! It's the wheel that is hit behind. Grimalozzi was not expecting the VMS Sundance ahead to hit the wall in that such manner. And, well, that's the unfortunate thing about battling so close with other cars. It's just one missed moment and that's it. Your race is overdone with. And David de Vries, that is it. Just one moment of oversteer, and that is it. That is literally it. His race is completely over and done for. The wall is just far too close to make any sort of correctionary response like that. You really need to be in your A game at that final corner, as it claims for another victim in David de Vries. First it was Lane, and now it's David. But another 2 laps left to go. Well, about one and a bit now. But Hayek still leads. Thijs Youngstra has now pushed up to about 2.2 seconds now. Cody Nikolakowski has gapped Ben Skinner, and now Ben Skinner, from all that issue, has now found himself Jonas Carlo, who doesn't have David de Vries to worry about anymore, can now solely put his attention onto the championship leader in Ben Skinner. He's done a very good momentum charge up ahead, just a little bit of a front wing missing as he's going to go into the pits. But Jonas Karl is going to put on the offensive and make an attack up against Ben Skinner into the inside through turn 1. Is it going to be close enough? It isn't. He's going to be a bit sideways out for the first corner, and that has compromised his entry into the second one. And Ben Skinner will capitalize it, and he will take P4. Grimlitzy is into the pit stall after Casper, Borquite, and Hakimi to jump up a couple places as well. But the race will still go on ahead as we're approaching over to our final lap. Dan Hayek is on course to become one of the first few drivers this season to be a repeat race winner here, which is a remarkable achievement for someone that has taken so long to achieve their first race win. He'll just have to wait another race after winning race 2 to win it again. But we'll see between Ben and Jonas if there's anything coming over here. Jonas a little bit too much, and that could be it. That could be all the chances that Jonas has. He's a bit too far back for Ben Skinner. He's going to hope that he's got enough of a deer sort of slip shift to do it, but I think it might be a bit too far, Juho. Through to the hairpin they're going to go. Through to the final sector, and he's
No!
right, he does manage to recover. It will be enough for P5, but it is well and truly completely ended his chances of P4 right there and then. Dan Hayek ran through to the final corner, did everything he could from P2. He was a race 2 winner in Sepang. He can now call himself a race 1 winner. Through to the line, Emerald Overdrive gets a 1-2 again. Race 2 in Sepang, race 1 in Montreal. Dan Hayek wins again. Thijs Youngster is second. Conor Nikolakowski gets a first ever podium since Sepang, I think it was. And a fantastic race it was all around from Hayek, Youngster, and Lakowski for a podium battle. That was an incredible fight, I must say, Juho.
Yeah, it has been an incredible fight, and congratulations to Emerald Overdrive, Nathaniel Skarupa, and also Dan Hayek for getting their second win of the season. 2 in a row for Dan Hayek, and Thijs Youngster completes a 1-2 for Emerald Overdrive. Further down the back, Jakub Tonasco tries to overtake Dan Hudd right now, and Dan Hudd defends really great onto the entry, but it's going to be a photo finish to the line, Amir, and here we go. Is it going to be enough for Jakub Tonasco? No, it's not.
Oh.
Dan Hudd holds on to 17th place, and Jakub Tonasco takes 18th place. And what a race it has been for the top 4 and top 5, as everything seems to be now calmed down. Everybody has finished the race right now, it seems like. And either way, Amir, I'll let you take the results for this one.
Great race it was, and a fantastic one is that. Hayek and Youngster with the 1-2 in Sepang. This one was way more shot and close than it was in Sepang. Nothing to worry about a third car whatsoever. And talk about teamwork down to perfection. Hayek and Youngster P1 and P2, and fantastic there from those two. Cody Nikolakowski again, his first podium since back in Sepang, and didn't have to wait too long for that. Ben Skinner holds on to his best finishing position since race 1 in Sepang, as he's up into 4th with Jonas Karla, the pole sitter, all the way down in the 5th. Unfortunate there, but he's managed to make a good recovery for what he could. Justin Van der Smissen, very unfortunate for Vima Senet, as he's the only driver in the Dutch team that will score points after a phenomenal qualifying session for the Dutch team. Ricardo Bassani did his best to clear out danger, and he will hold on to Chimera Racing Team's, I think it is Chimera Racing Team's second best finishing result in 7th. Christian Glomstetter is in 8th with his championship rival Ben Skinner in 4th. That means Ben Skinner has pushed the gap a bit more in the championship at the moment. Lucas Machulik scores his first points in his FS2 race for Magnus Motorsports in 9th, and Magnus Oklag makes it a Fox Esports 8 and 10 with a very good drive from him. Over through to 11th. Major Lufnik from McKenna Racing is 11th. Casper Kurtz does manage to beat Mika Kimi through to the line, but both of them managed to gain 17 positions. So very good from both drivers. Alfie Denley from Mass Motorsports is in 14th, with James Workwear for French Generic completes our through to the top 15. Outside of that, we have Jamie Clump from McKenna Racing with Dan Hutt in 17th. Jacob Tonasco is in 18th. Francisco Grimluzzi was on course to score points, his also ST Racing's first points, but unfortunately his contact with the VMS Sun edits of Justin Van der Smissen unfortunately means that he will have to try again. Hansko Mebus follows through as he completes for the top 20 for ST Racing as well. Through to P21st, it is Eamon Alsabir for Elkins National, with Mark Zalagi following along down behind him for Killer Racing in 22nd. Amir Hazik is 23rd, with David Yunt in 24th, and Eric Ben is the last of the finishers. The unfortunate retirements we had has been Raresh Tolma, David DeFree, Leila Petraglia, Pessy Mikkonen, Andrea Canalia, and Craig Patterson. 31 cars have been done here, and we've only seen about, I think, 5 retirements, but a fantastic battle was up for the front and from the midfield. We can expect to see a bit of the same come for race 2. We have more coming up here as me and Juho will take a very short break. Remco will also take a very short break as we await for the reverse grid poll. But with that in mind, we'll be back in a very few moments. Please don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Oh.
Inside a place of... On the next Kelty seat, the coffee beanery, Tyrek.
Flat out. Oh no! Oh no! Who's round? It's Magnussen. Oh, it's going to be a touch moment. It's in the barrier. Oh, they spun. Oh, this is a carnage.
And Menokop's gonna win.
It's a double pass. Could they take each other off? They don't. And Flack slide. It's a victory for the Tuties.
They touch. They're now. Oh no!
Soriano's gone around and met the wall. Mitchell will go through. Does it go uphill into turn 4? Oh, and round the outside. What a fabulous move.
Frelick will use all of his as well. Here he comes. He makes a move. They touch. They run wide. And Munio's going to get it. We're going 3 wide. Look at
Sing.
contact. Oh, my goodness. The Tyne has lost a wheel.
Time's out.
The dramatic race that we were teeing up the entire time has come to an end.
And we're back for 17 laps of sprint. Juho, you can confirm to us the reverse grid pole number and who's on pole.
P14 will be the reverse grip pole, and your pole sitter will be James Rockway.
Mad. Incredible. 15 cars are going to be starting from the reverse, so a little bit harder for Hayek and Youngster to make their way up from the order to repeat their feat from race 1, but it's going to be a very interesting race nonetheless, especially with Casper and Mika starting for alongside. Mika could still get a chance to get a race win. Casper could get a race win and excel his championship contention. Still, a lot of possible things can happen, or even Walkway can capture Frechenera's first race win. Time will certainly tell, but 17 laps is going to be a very long way. And with our predictions aside, it is Formula Sprint 2. It does often, how do I say it? Sometimes exceed expectations at times. But big thanks as well to everyone for staying tuned and watching this stream. Thanks as well to Juho Sopanen as well. I think this is the last race for a bit, but Lorenzo Etrovic will be back come for our next race, which I think we're heading to Imola for the San Marino Grand Prix. That's going to be hosting over through very soon at the 12th of at the 9th of June. I think we have a summer break. Yeah, we have a 1 week break. Early summer break on June for 1 week, and then we're back over to Imola at San Marino. I hope we get a special event like we did in Macau, but time will certainly tell if that will ever come to fruition or not. But yeah, thanks as well to Remco as well for broadcast directed side of things. But we're moving on quickly over to a race view. 31 cars, I think, are predicted to line up. Same again for race 1, as we've done through 21 laps here at Montreal. We're going to go through 70 laps here again as we wait for the cars to line up onto the grid.
Obviously, last race was actually really good, race 1, and I feel like race 2 will be a bit more chaotic, but it will be fun to see what's going to happen next.
Help. That's all I can really say.
I was saying help before.
I know. I think all of us are kind of screaming help, but yeah, big thanks to everyone that's really stuck for us thick and thin. And we're waiting for the cars to line up for the grid. Remco, the graphic.
Go!
And we're now back overhead, just a bit of a replay one, but we go over through to live footage here as we await for the start of the grid. Would you like to do the starting procedures, Juho, this time out?
I'm sorry, but I'm giggling from that, so I think I'm not fit for that.
Okay, I will happily do it. For holding on through to reverse grid. We're going to be okay. Big apologies through to the graphical team, but we're going to be fine. Remco is indeed ironing out a bit of the issues, and we're going to go through what is going to be one of our quickest reverse grid graphics here for today's race. We're about halfway through the track. James Rockway holds on to reverse grid pole position. He finished in P15. He'll be starting over at P1. It's going to be the first time ever the British driver will acquire that feat, and Frechenera also will be the first time to get pole position this season. Alfie Denley from Max Motorsports could be in big contention for second. Mika Kimi Fox International's third, with Casper Kurtz for Motorsports is in fourth. Following through to fifth, it's Mitchell Lufnik from McKenna Racing, with Magnus Okkanen for Fox Esports is sixth. Falls through with Lucas Matulik from McMahon's Motorsports is in seventh, and Christian Glomsetter for Fox Esports completes our through to the top 8. Through to completing through row 5, Ricardo Bassani holds on to 9th for Camera. Justin Smith for Minnesota Racing is in 10th. Jonas Karola in 11th for Priority 1, previous pole sitter. Falls with Ben Skinner in 12th. Kunina Krakowski is 13th with Tice Youngster in 14th for Emerald Overdrive, with Dan Hayek for Emerald Overdrive is 15th. Jamie Klump is in 16th for McKenna Racing. This is going to be very quick. Dan Hutt for Hutt Performance Engineering 17th, with Jacob Tanasco for GPVWC Academy's 18th. Francisco Grimaluzzi is 19th for ST Racing. Hansco Mebus for ST Racing is 20th. Please, drivers, slow down. We need to complete this. Eamon Asabir for International 21st, with Mark Zalagi in 22nd. Amir Hazik for Hutt Performance Engineers 23rd, with David Yunt for Aquila Racing is 24th. Following through to P25, we have Eric Brenna for Honda Simulation, Rash Toma for Camera Racing Team, David DeVry for Viva Sanets Racing, Leila Petraglia for Hunterbird Simulation, and the final few we're going to go through very, very quickly before the lights go out. It's going to be Pessy Mikkonen, Andre Canale, and Craig Powison completing over through the 30-car grid. Everyone's going to be ready to go as the lights going to come on here. Very, very quick. Lights off for race 2. James Rockway has a pretty good start. Alfie Denley might have an even better one though, but it's Rockway that'll still have the lead heading over to turn 1. You can see further back there, Mika Keeman looking at side by side with Casper Kurtz, and it's Alfie Denley that gets the jump again against Rockway into turn 1. Rockway with a very wide exit though is going to allow the door open for maybe Casper Kurtz to take advantage of it. We'll see as the Estonian almost has a look at it, but is unable to do so. Still, Rockway will lead with Casper and Mika, and Alfie Denley leads for the first time ever. A bit of a yellow flag already in the first chicane, and there might have been that's going on in the background. That is Youngstra that is dropping off down the order, and a couple of others as well. Magnus Okanak gets himself into 5th. Lufnik has found himself a bit under pressure. Glomsetter might be a chance to get another position, and there you go, Thijs Youngstra, and the Emil Durmaj that has gotten P2 in the last 2 races finds himself all the way down in P30 and struggling. I don't think he's seen to have sustained any damage, which is very, very fortunate for the Dutch driver, but the race will unfortunately go on as he's down that order. Hansco Mebus has retired. He's in 31st. So already devastating news happening there. Luvnik swings his way around for the outside against Aukenhag, unable to do so, in fact a bit wide on the exit, and that's going to allow for Glomsetter to maybe take a bit of advantage for it as Aukenhag eyes for Casper Kurtz up ahead. Hakimi has got up into 3rd after that overtake on Casper, but look at this, a bit of a car battle going on here for P4. Casper's found himself very right, almost now gone that too wide between Casper and Lufnik will hold on to 4th, and it is Casper that will still hold on to 5th, as Casper that holds on to 4th, but the battle's still going to go on ahead as we complete our first lap of the race. The Fox Esports a little bit battling, but not quite side by side as much as Lufnik and Casper and Kurtz are, but Casper seems to leave it a little bit open coming for turn 2, but it's not going to be enough for Lufnik to take advantage of. He tries his absolute best, is unable to do so. Denley leads, Rockway 2nd, Hakimi in 3rd, with Casper Kurtz in 4th, still under immense pressure from Lufnik in 5th, as Okanek, Glomsetter, Machalek, Francis Smithson, Korala, Skinner, Hayek, Lakoski, Tanasco, and Hutt that complete for the top 15 at the moment, Juho.
Yep, as Alfie Denley still leads, a very great launch from the Tiger, as James Rockway currently in 2nd. He's trying to put the pressure, and the pressure's got the better of Alfie Denley, as James Rockway now pouncing on to 2nd. Now he's trying to put the pressure on Alfie Denley, going through the hairpin. They're gonna try to make it side by side. Yes, they are gonna make it side by side, and look at that. Rockway now getting the DRS, and really good exit from him. Now Rockway's gonna take the lead away from Alfie Denley, but does Alfie Denley have anything to answer to this attack from James Rockway? I think he has. He's going to keep the inside line. They make contact.
They make contact. Rockway cut for the corner and taking evasive action. He's not allowed to really gain an advantage, so he does filter in behind Denley, who will still hold on to the lead. But that was so close there, Juho. Could have ended in tears for Rockway, but he's managed to take the exit out of the final corner, and that was very, very lucky. It could have ended in haywire, but here we go. The Malaysian of Mika Kimi, race 1 winner last year, is going to try his best to replicate that into this year for race 2, and he's going to be eyeing the pressure against Rockway, and this is good news for Denley. That means he has relieved the pressure that James was applying the pressure onto, and Lufnik meanwhile has split between Hakimi and Kurtz, which is good. Hakimi a little bit sideways out on exit though, but the race still goes on ahead. Though super close we're seeing, between Rockway and Hakimi, and it's still going to continue on as they can push over through to the 2nd sector. Hakimi looking over to the outside line, not quite close enough. He has to stay behind. Rockway, fantastic defending, I must say.
Yeah, Rockway's doing a fantastic job at defending, but look at Mika Hakimi. He's really onto the rear of Rockway. They're going to be now side by side. Rockway's going to take the long way around. Oh my goodness, that's going to be contact, but either way, there is no spinners at the moment, and looks like, yeah, Hakimi's got the DRS. Rockway is going to have to settle for the slipstream, and he's gonna go side by side with Hakimi, but there's no way of getting past Hakimi with that DRS open. But Hakimi takes second place, Alfie comfortably ahead. And once again, Hakimi gets the DRS, and so does Rockway. Doesn't get the DRS this time. And either way, well, what can I say, Amir? Very great start from Alfie Denley, and such a shame for James Rockway to go off. But here's a replay from the first lap, or something like that. As Riccardo Bazzani, we are seeing him. He's going to go through the chicane. Oh!
Here!
Is that Lena? Is that Lena Biscaglia?
Eric Brenner. That is Eric Brenner, I think it was. So,
Press
because
escape.
it was listed as a retirement. Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. Oh, dear. Riccardo Bassani was just not expecting Eric to have been there, but we'll see how that looks. Looking onto the replay, he's getting to the inside, heading into...
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear. It just side by side to that chicane does not really go, and I don't think I always give a space, and that is a very poor rejoin, I think that was, and just hits the wall. So I think he was just trying his best to avoid action, and this is what happened to Tice Youngster up ahead, who was doing his best to... He overtook his teammate, so it's already been a pretty good start from him. But is that nearly 3 wide going ahead and getting tagged a bit? I think it might have been, and he's very lucky to have been outside the racing line through that chicane and didn't sustain any damage whatsoever. And that is incredibly lucky for that Dutch driver, as he's up in a P24 now, so he's already recovering all the way down from P31st. But look at this ahead. This is the battle for P2 at the moment between Workway, Casper, and Mika.
Contact
between Workway and Casper, and Mika's going to swing his way for the outside for turn 2, hoping to take advantage for, unable to do so though. And this is great fighting, but this is going to allow Alfie Denley to capitalize. He's already 2.2 seconds ahead, similar to what we've seen earlier between Hayek leading. Look at this, Ludwig able to apply the pressure onto Mika. Mika cannot shut the door on him at the moment, but Rockway is going to do his best to go side by side with Casper. Still going to go side by side and approaching for to the end of the first sector. So close. It came a bit wide on the XLS for Ludwig to go through, and he'll get up into P4. And Corrins and Rockway still in the battle for P2. It's still chaos going on, Juho, and it's all calamity as they approach over for the second sector. Contact between Rockway and Casper, and Rockway goes a little bit sideways and jumps in back in, but he drops down a position as Ludwig has got another position from P5. He's up into P4, and he could get P2 in the span of a few sectors, as he's still doing his best to apply pressure to Casper right on exit. Intense racing here, but Curtis is leading a very big train that Alfie Denley is taking all the advantage of. 3.7 seconds. Ludwig doing his absolute best to try and get P2 away from Casper. He does manage to do it, but it's just...
contact!
Just truly cemented. Yes, indeed, contact there. Still side by
side.
Contact
again.
No. Oh my goodness me, that was so close.
Oh, there's a tire! There's a tire! Someone's lost a tire, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that Jonas Carla, or is that Glomsetter, I wonder? I'm not quite sure, but still, calamity has still been happening. Casper has gone from P2 all the way down to P5, and he's still dropping down through the order. This is
Jonas.
Calamity, Juho. Absolute calamity. I'm losing my voice over this.
Yeah, I am losing. I understand what you're going through. I'm not losing my voice, but either way, this is calamity at the start, and this is what race 2 is all about, honestly. As Alfie Denley with a comfortable lead at the moment. Oh no! Oh my goodness, it's Magnus Hockenhaus spinning.
Spondies has to be very careful upon rejoining back in, and Jonas Carla, the pole sitter at race 1, has retired. So another retirement that we have seen at the end of it. Okonak has managed to recover back into form, but my goodness me, we've already seen almost as many retirements in race 1, and we're still only lap 6 out of 17. And goodness me, that was so close.
Yeah, the Canada curse continues for Jonas. Unfortunately, I feel so sorry for him. But let's see what happens to Magnus. Oh, he gets tackled from behind. But everybody, well done to everybody to avoid hitting him as well. So that's Cody Nikolkovsky trying to make a move on Magnus, and yeah, there you go. The difference of speed, and well, unfortunate for Magnus Hockenhaus. So for Cody Nikolkovsky. Let's see what happened to Jonas as well.
Yeah, he's lost his wheel already. He lost his front left. So that was the wheel that we talked about that was flying around, and Jonas were completely and utterly devastated from that. It seemed like it happened. Oh my god, it happened earlier. It happened at the chicane. So, well, can we go back like about 10 or 15 seconds before that? Thank you very much, Remco. Because
no,
that's what's happened. It's side by side. I think it's the similar contact that we've seen happen before. It's just a couple of hits, and then and big contact there from Carla. That means that his race is indeed over. I think that's the second or third time that we have seen such an incident like that in FS2. As we're going, I think, right back to this is with Pisani, who's also dropped down a couple places. This is in a battle with Lucas, heading into that one a little bit over in the chicane, overshoots it, but does manage to keep it facing straight, but loses a couple places in the process. That's a bit of a tag from behind from, I think that might have been from Hayek, I think. So unfortunately does call out a retirement. The race is still going on though. Hakimi briefly into second place. Look at that gap, Juho. It's 5.6 seconds and it is still rapidly climbing. Casper makes the overtake on Mika through to the chicane, and this is going to be a breeze for Alfie. He's just got to really bring the car home, and that race win is as good as his, and he's aimed for his first win as well. Casper, Hakimi, Glakowski and Machulik all in jostling in for a position. For that one, Hakimi a bit sideways. Casper, Glakowski almost comes it through. Contact from behind from Hayek though, and he's got caught in the middle.
Oh my goodness,
Smith rejoins very heavily in, and that has cost him big time. That's promoted a lot of people up through the order, like Salagi, Asabir and Van der Smith of the brief yellow flag, as Wokwai is dropping down the order. Lukowski has dropped down to P8 meanwhile, as he was in the position for P2. So already so much stuff has been happening already, Juho.
Yep, as Hakimi again takes second place from Kasper Kuritz, and Alfie Denley seems to have won a lottery ticket, because he's now currently 6.9 seconds ahead. Nice. But either way, currently Alfie Denley is really looking forward to completing the race at the moment. He wishes that it would be now completed. As look at the further down the back, Kasper Kuritz is side by side with Mika Hakimi. Hakimi is trying to defend, but Kasper's got the DRS right now. And also Machulik has a DRS as well. So this might be a McManus 1-2 actually. So this might be a dream week for McManus, as Machulik has cleared one of the cars, but hasn't cleared two of them. Now comes the main straight, and here is where Machulik can make a move on Kasper Kuritz. And now Kasper Kuritz is very much in place of losing a position. The yellow's in sector 3, and that's David De Vries. David De Vries dropping down the order right now. Oh my goodness, there's almost going to be contact. Machulik has to lose a position from Mika Hakimi. Well, at the moment, no. And yellow's in sector 1 still, and we're going to have to focus on this. So apologies. But Hakimi just doing a fantastic job at it, defending and the counter-attacks as well.
Yep, it's such an intense fight with Hakimi with a fantastic overtake against Lutnik to get it back over. But look at this, Ben Skinner makes a tag behind by Matlik, and Matlik might be a bit off squirrely through to the second sector. Skinner with the cut through right down to the inside line. Massive moment there, and that's gone off for Skinner and Matlik to hold on through between each other. Kasper Kuritz has gapped Hakimi, so Hakimi doesn't have a chance to get P2 at the very last moment, and he's going to hope for a battle in the further back between Matlik, Grimlutzi and Ben Skinner, as they all going to battle for P4, and this is going to be very big news. SC Racing have been pointless so far this season, and they could be on course for 5th at the moment from Francesco, who didn't score points in race 1 but is on course to score points in race 2. Contact right
oh
there
my goodness,
hefty impact there from there. That might have been high. Francesco goes a bit off to this final chicane and will lose a bit of momentum. Matchlick gets P3 meanwhile back from Mika Hakimi, and already massive calamity happening. Hayek, I think, is retired from that contact, and such unfortunate there from the race 1 winner. It would seem to be a really good time for him in Montreal, but unfortunately it does not seem to be for him.
As we get a replay of what's happened here, and yeah, there was hefty contact for sure. And let's see, De Vries. Oh no, not again.
De Vries.
Once again.
Oh dear, it is, yeah, but he's lucky.
Oh,
it's
there's another. There was another hit from the wall.
this is Ak and Asabir. It was falling from behind. Did Asabir just make contact and
misjudged the
that
DRS?
happened? Yeah, if it was a bump drift,
yeah.
then yeah, very, very unfortunate there. See from behind, from Asabir if we can, because it might be able to explain a little bit more. That's just, oh my goodness me, that is so bad. It was Eamon that was behind. I just want to see the onboard of that if possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah,
there
it
we
was
go.
Eamon.
Thank you.
Eamon here.
We'll see if it was a bit of a touch.
Yeah, it was a touch. Yeah, there
One
you go.
touch. Yeah,
One touch.
one touch. Simple sideways, and that's all that I quotes Eamon up into P12. But you can't really bump draft into these cars.
My goodness.
And Werner Smithson has cut a bit of a corner, was not going to make it, but still holds on through to. Or did he gain places? I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. Francisco has dropped down to P9, but is going to do his best to sheer commit to hold on to it at the moment. So Laggy is going to try and do the same. Asabir cuts into the inside. He'll be into P11. And this is going to be quite close there from Justin as he's going to hold it to the outside line. But Eamon cuts it straight on through as he gets in. He holds on to P9 and think will make it stick. But the VMAX on it is not quite done yet as he's got a chicane to pull some tricks. But Eamon kind of senses it and holds on to the inside of the line. So Alfie Genley currently leads. Casper Kurtz is going to be on for a race of his life in 6 laps. He needs to find 7 seconds of a gap. Machulik is 2 seconds and Mika Kimi is about 8 tenths. So the so it's kind of all steady the ship at the moment. And Ben Skinner on quest to maybe follow on for his teammate. McManus is going to be a net, going to be an overall points beneficiary here. But Skinner could be on a quest for that. And this could well and truly be in a good chance there to really put his championship worries to bed with Glomsetter by outscoring him twice this race. Something he hasn't done in quite a long while, Juho.
Yep, either way, right now, Hakimi is now under pressure from Ben Skinner. Skinner goes through with the DRS benefit, and there you go. Bye-bye, says Ben Skinner to Mika Hakimi, and Hakimi still has the DRS, but... Well, no, actually, no. Ben Skinner has the DRS currently. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Behind. That was more contact going through.
Chilagi's out.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And that's very unfortunate because he's dropped down for the Euro Killer Racing. Could be on cautious points and will not be scored points at all this time round. And again, that's just more and more retirements that is adding to that pile. And there's, oh my goodness, we cut some massive airtime trying to go side by side. And he was not making that corner. He should have. Well, it's not that he should have, but I understand what he's trying to do. Trying his best to commit to the corner. Hopefully, steering more would work. But I think there's just a very unfortunate coincidence there for Salagi to have hit the wall, and that's going to be another retirement added. We still got, goodness me, we've got 22 cars left on the field. Lap 12 out of 17, and well, just absolute chaos, absolute pandemonium here, Juho.
Yeah, pretty much absolute pandemonium right now, as Koenigsegg is 5 tenths adrift from Christian Glamstedt. Glamstedt is going to lose more of the points right now as he's gained from Sepang lately, and now Koenigsegg will go past Christian Glamstedt. Easy does it, and there you go. Koenigsegg up to 6th place. And pretty close to the wall as well, so very good job from Cody. And look at Layla and Craig, they're battling here, and Layla's still holding on, but Craig's got the overlap as well. Layla's got the DRS right now. Can she make a move down the inside here? No, thinks better of it, and Craig is through up to P13 and gained 18th places right now, so a very great recovery from Craig at the moment, and it's a decent gain from Layla as well, so big job from these two as well to gain up more positions from the chaos what we've just seen as well.
13 out of 17, and still not quite done with Craig as she flaps up with the DRS. Both got a sizable gap to Dan Hutt, who's about 4 seconds behind. So again, this is very good news between these two drivers. Can effectively battle out all they want. Just see in the foreground there, that's Youngstra and Asabir for 12th and 11th. but still a lot of potential to go on ahead, as the youngster who was previously P2 is going to be looking to be in pretty good pace to maybe clinch a top 10 finish for Elmwold Overdrive. A good recovery for, unfortunately, what's happened to Hayek earlier. But yeah, the race isn't quite done yet. Curtis is doing the drive of his life, but he can only nudge it down from 7 seconds to about 6.8, 6.9. So he's only managed to find about a tenth of a gap between himself and Deadly, and still will have to worry about Machulik and Skinner behind, 1.3 seconds and 0.8 the gaps between Curtis and Machulik and Skinner respectively. So McManus still in course for maybe a double podium. Again, very interesting that we've seen like new teams sort of arose to the occasion here. We have McKenna Racing becoming the Fox Esports for Suzuka becoming the first new team to have clinched a race win. Then it was McKenna Racing, and then Emerald Overdrive. It's a pang.
Oh no!
We're trying to get his head through the wall, and that is a very, very hefty impact, and the wheel has gone flying off, and that has meant that she is going to have a double DNF here today. And very fortunate, because she was both in point scoring positions up until the moments that she made impact. So here she is chasing Craig Patterson. What's happened here, Juho?
Yeah, here we go. So going through the chicane. Oh no, she's misjudged it, and there you go. She hits the wall. Yeah, that's a hefty impact for Layla, and she really just misjudged the speed of the corner as well. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the apex already went, and she's understeering to the wall. She's put too much steering angle, and she's already into the wall. It's pretty obvious that when she puts so much steering angle, you'll get so much understeer as well, and that's one of the Maves VOs collecting a tire. Here's Rade Stoma as well. Oh, not a wheel issue, I think. And
and that was contact
code
from behind, I think, or net code. So yeah, big impact there from Toma, but still keeps it racing despite that issue, which is very fortunate. 15 out of 17. The gap between Deadly and Curtis is closed down, so they did manage to find about 9/10 Curtis to Alfie. We'll see how this goes on ahead. Francesco Grimlitzi is on 8th at the moment and is going to eye for Glom Center to the inside. Unable to do so. You can see Francis Smithson almost looking to the inside of Walkway as well for the position for P9, but it's still going to be remain stagnant here as the battles slowly drawn to close. We can expect to see the battles between Hakimi, Lakoski, Glom Center, Grimlitzi, Rockway and Francis Smithson maybe come to blows at the final lap of the race, I think, or maybe even a bit earlier than that. We'll see as it develops, but again, ST Racing have not been lucky in terms of point scoring, but they could well and truly get a very healthy points haul in their battle to exit their battle for the wooden spoon. And the Italian driver up into 7th place he goes against Glomsetter, a championship contender, and what a great overtake that was. But Glomsetter not quite done yet. He's looking to the inside, maybe into turn 1 if he's close enough. But alas, he is not, and that means Francesco has well and truly cemented his position of P7. Koenig Lakoski 2/10 away to Hakimi, and closing down even more. It could go a bit from bad to worse from Mika, who did so well at the start and could be dropping a little bit more. Lakoski, meanwhile, has been kind of racing his own race. Has been quietly in contention for podiums in both races, but well, he's going to be pretty happy with points overall in terms of his quest for the championship. Just little by little, he said he's going to go through, and you can sort of tell that by his smooth driving style, very easily composed, and no pressure added to the North Macedonian whatsoever. And the Elk International driver really seems to be a bit of under threat here, right on exit, and Lacoste has got all the time and all the momentum in the world to get that P5 out of Mika Hakimi.
Yep, and of course Cody is a very experienced driver, so is Mika as well. So I will say they're gonna have a great battle between 5th place right now. Here we go, look at Cody, he's on the slipstream and the DRS, and there you go, he goes by. See you later, says Cody Lutkovsky, and moves up to 5th. But will Mika Hakimi still be close enough, as he does go for a little... Oh no! Oh my goodness!
That was contact between that was, my goodness me, that was between Youngstra and Eamon Asabir. But Eamon Asabir very lucky to have kept his front wing. And is that battle still going up ahead between Van der Smith and Rockway? It still is, as we approach over through to the final lap of the race. And well, Casper Kurtz has thrown everything and the kitchen sink, and it's just not going to happen. That gap that Denley has had to Kurtz is going to be quite big enough for Denley and McMahon's Motorsports to clinch their first race wins in their FS2 careers. And looking over to Rockway and Van der Smith, and Rockway hits the wall, and that's going to be the opening that Eamon Asabir is going to look for P10, but we'll have to see. He's going to look over to the outside. It was a very hefty impact, and Rockway's doing his best to fend back from it, and indeed he does fend back from it into the second sector. That's going to allow for Thijs Youngstra to get up into P11 and maybe even higher. And look at this, Eamon Asabir is not done yet. He's going to join in for this three-car battle into the hairpin, but he backs out of it through to the final few corners are expected for Alfred Denley, as he's going to go through to the line and deliver an absolute clinical race too for himself and for McManus Motorsports. The Thai driver does it. A recoverable show of form from Alfie Denley. He wins at Montreal, and a fantastic Lunik has managed to beat Casper Kurtz for the line. McManus Motorsports gets a 1-2, but further on back, Eamon Asabir drops out 2 positions for the final corner. Youngstra is 10th, Rockway's 11th, Eamon Asabir is in 12th, but McManus Motorsports gets a 1-2. It's the third time this season that we've seen a team clinch a 1-2, and it is Alfie and Lucas, Juho.
Yes. Finally, Alfie Denley gets a win, and McManus gets a 1-2. What a race it was from start to finish. And the Thai Tiger can now properly celebrate his first win in FS2. And look at this, how Machulik got second place. Casper Kurtz might have went off actually. So Machulik gets second place. And now McManus has a 1-2. And we didn't expect that at the end of the race. What an entry, what an exit as well. Wow.
He let him. I think he might have let him win that one as a good sign of gesture from Casper. And if that's the case, then a quite nice way to kind of add that accolade for McMahon Sports. But it's usually been a plucky underdog at the start of the season. Nobody expected them to emerge as race victors. No one could have predicted it. None of the analysts, none of the drivers, not even like us here at the broadcast team could have expected this. But Alfie Denley, a proper well-deserved one, kept his nose clean, and as a result, he emerged victorious. And McMahon Motorsports, a very important point, so they escape out from the lower midfield up into the midfield now. So very, very good there for McMahon Motorsports. A maybe good show, a good change of fortunes maybe for McManus. I'm sure I forgot what their team principal is. Carl McManus would be very, very happy with that. As I think it's the first time as well that's the Scottish outfit has done this as well. Casper Kurtz and Ben Skinner. It's Casper that gets a podium, and Ben Skinner is in 4th, with Cody Nikolakowski into 5th, and it's Mika Hikimi that did drop down into 6th at the end, but still very great race from Casper, Ben, Cody, Mika and Lucas from that battle for the rest of the pack since Alfie pulled away. Francisco Grimaluzzi, it holds on to ST Racing's first ever points haul, and as a result they jump Hunter British Simulation now in the standings. Christian Glomsetter for Fox Esports is in 8th, with Justin Van der Spencer for BMS and Edits is in 9th, and Thijs Youngstra is the sole scoring Emerald Overdrive. A bit of a far cry from what happened in race 1, but still very good from him regardless. Jake Kwapkwai is 11th, who both of them beat Eamon Asabir for Falcon National on 12th. Craig Patterson for Priority 1 Esports is 13th. Mandy Ockenhag for Fox Esports is 14th. And Dan Hutt, upon his return, manages to get a point for his team. Outside the points, we have Jacob Tedesco for GPVWC Academy, with Pessy Mikkonen for MXVO. Andrea Canali for Fractionera is in 18th, with Jamie Klump in 19th. And David Jun for Killer Racing is in P20. Through to P21st, we have Raresh Toma for Camera Racing. He's the last of the point scorers, actually, and the rest of them, unfortunately, has been retirements. Those have been Leila Petraglia, Mark Salagi, Dan Hayek, David Ivry, Mitchell Luvnik, Jonas Karla, Ricardo Bassani, Eric Brenner, Amir Hazik, and Hasko Mebus.
Whoa.
That was like 9 cars that have retired in that race, which was pretty hefty. But yeah, fantastic races from both round. and incredibly phenomenal. As I'm getting the tags, probably as I'm probably getting the tags. So with that in mind, we will go swiftly on to the interviews. I hope they don't make any mention of that, but well, what a fantastic race it was from all around. And with that in mind, Remco, actually, I will let you decide who we should interview first. Okay. Alfie Denley will join alongside him, and I think I'll bring Lucas Majnik and Kyle McManus. Hello, you all. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Okay, can't believe I'm saying this. Alfie Denley, you're a race winner. Congratulations. Fantastic race. Yeah. Fantastic race from you and Lucas, both race 1 and race 2. But race 2 was where you two really truly shine. Did you had any game plan, knowing you, Alfie, that you were starting in the front row, and you, Lucas, you were starting about in the mid pack? Did either of you predicted you would come out this far ahead?
No, I just send it around the outside.
You just send it around
That's
the outside. That's insane.
Yeah. And practice on race days.
That's it.
It's a class answer, that.
Yeah. I mean, I had exams today, so...
You had exams?
Yeah.
What?
And I needed to show up, so...
Goodness me.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my god. Lucas, as well for you, FS2 debut, extremely well for your points haul. Was Montreal a strong suit for yourself? How do you feel navigating for the traffic to hold on to P2, beating Casper Curtis to the line?
It was a very crazy race. I didn't expect to get the 1-2. I didn't expect the podium to be possible. Last night I didn't even think I was going to be racing today, but it all worked out. The setup was good. I kind of found a lot of pace at the end of race 2, so glad to have made it the 1-2 in the end. And yeah, it was fun debuting in FS2.
Kyle, thoughts?
Best team in the grids. That's pretty much it, Where's to go?
No doubts there, Juho Sopanen.
No doubts. I have no questions, but very well congratulations to you, Alfie, Kyle, and also Lucas. And Alfie, again, well done. You made yourself really strong out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's been in gym, getting stronger.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
Went in before the race,
Oh yeah, Amir. Amir. I'm gonna mention this. You owe him £50.
Yeah, don't tell the public that. Come on, it's in a GPV lore. It's an iceberg. I love how Alfie just said, "I'm racing for you," and I was like, "Oh god, he's gonna win it," and he did play win it. Oh god. But seriously, Alfie, that was extremely well deserved. So yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, I'll bring in. Thank you very much for that. But I'll bring in through the next set of people, which is yeah, these guys. Hello.
Hello.
It's a yeah. Thanks, Juho. A little bit of mixed. A little bit of mixed emotions. You two managed to. Whenever me and Juho watched Sepang, we thought, wow, it's going to be really hard to replicate a 1-2 like that. But now we've seen you guys repeat it again here in Montreal, and you guys did 1-2 exactly the same order as well. So, very good points all for you two. I'm sure you two must be extremely thrilled.
Yes, because we didn't really expect it. We both thought that Canada would be our weaker track. It's actually been better for us because we did it in race 1 this time, not race 2. And I don't know how Zeiss's race really went, but obviously I proved that the race is won in turn 1, lap 1. So therefore, that theory has been confirmed now. I think Ty struggled a bit more, but I had fun.
Yeah, I just
Remco
had
was-
a few drivers to deal with first, but it worked out.
Remco was just whispering into my ear, and he did happily say you two both lifted the thumbnail curse, which is
Oh, that's true.
Oh, come on,
which is well
come on.
well done. That's obviously more impressive than your race win. But yeah, come for race 2, it was a little bit more of a. I think it was a little bit more of a mixed bag. I know High IQ got involved in a collision with Asabir, and yourself, Tice, got very, very lucky with a bit of a spin into the first chicane. But positives, I suppose. Was it positives to take from race 2? At least from yourselves?
Definitely were, because we had a lot of pace again, which was great. I was making a lot of moves and moving up very rapidly. I had some small issues with one driver, but had a lot of damage from that, but I still had enough pace afterwards. And then I spun on my own by just being a little bit too ambitious into a turn 1 overtake again, because it's worked like 15 times for me this weekend so far. Yeah, that's when I collected Vandersmissen, and then obviously the incident on the back straight, which just second time it's happened to me this season somehow. And this time I'm probably gonna make sure I report the correct race.
That would be smart.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Nathaniel, yourself, huge positives from yourself. Surely you're proud of both drivers as well. You think they will be able to replicate this, in your own opinion, as a team boss for, I was going to say the rest of the season, but I suppose up until the first half of the season, because you two both carry huge momentum, I think, better than any team at the moment.
I honestly think that they could definitely replicate this result probably at least one more time in the year, but they're just doing amazing, and they're punching way above their weight in terms of how they're able to just been able to finish as a team. And coming into this season, we did not expect, honestly, to win at all, let alone having 2 1-2s back to back, and then clawing their way up through the field, basically from back of the grid. And it was honestly incredible to see their performance today. And despite the luck we had in race 2, it was I think it was a very good day. And I hope that we can definitely at least continue this strong points gaining momentum throughout the rest of the season.
Nice to hear about it from the team owner. We'll hear about it from the team principal side of things. Mateusz, I know it's very quick, but 1-2 once again in Sopanen, once again in Montreal. How do you feel?
Decent, as I said.
Great.
Last week.
Not
The
bothered.
potential is here. No, I'm not that happy. I'm used to it by now. Next race I'm expecting the same.
Good on.
Always used to it. Okay, fair enough. Juho, I'll let you ask the many questions if you want.
Honestly, to all of you, big congratulations, and this puts you third in the team standings as well. So, what are your main objectives for Imola?
We're winning it all.
That's the goal. We just want to win every race now from now on.
Yeah, we just gotta win. We
But
just
now
gotta win
just told
every
us.
race. Yeah, we
1-2
gotta
every
win
race.
every race.
1-2 every race, in this order every race, not
No. We're gonna start switching. I don't like second place. I want to win.
Come on, you guys can win the
you
championship as well.
Yes, we gotta play. We gotta play rock paper scissors. We gotta play rock paper scissors for the next 1-2 position.
We will be so far ahead, that we're just gonna wait on the line, then do the what is it, rock paper scissors, and then we go. We will be just 20 seconds ahead.
It's like Ford at Le Mans with in 1966 where they
wait for each other.
Thank you very much, all of you, for taking the time to interview. Still really impressive. You managed to repeat 1-2 in the very next race. And congratulations on a well-deserved third in the championship. Best of luck in the next race. Come Ilma.
Yeah, we'll see you in the interview room again. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be the best.
We will be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We will be there. We will be there. Trust us.
What a great motto for Emerald Drive. We will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there, and we will do something. We are there. Trust us. Trust me.
Yeah, okay, that's
All
enough.
right, see yous.
Bye bye, guys.
Okay, thank you very much to these guys as well. We've got time. I want to do kind of two more, if you don't mind. Juho, I'll bring over through Casper Kurtz, who's done, I think, pretty good in terms of going from last to P12, and also getting P3 in race 2. Casper, can you hear us? I think it
Hello.
Hello. You did, dare I say, very good. You must be thrilled.
Maybe not for the right reasons, but I'm very thrilled. To be fair, coming to this race, I downloaded the track 15 minutes before the race, the official session. Coming to this for fun. Auto qualifying, that was not there. And then race 2, my sole mission was to hold up everyone for Alfie Denley to win. And I succeeded in that. And then at the end, when I saw that Lurink, I think, was behind me, and that there's a possibility of McManus getting a 1-2, the idea just thrilled me. That I was like, I have to give him the position.
Why?
Funny. And because genuinely, it's just hilarious that McManus is going a 1-2 in the race, and me and Dan and Matu started laughing really hard, and then like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm leaving
It's like
anyway. I'm leaving FS2 anyway.
You are?
After Imola, I'm quitting FS2, and I'm not gonna be participating in GPV. I'm gonna do iRacing.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, that's the thing. So this was all for fun. Didn't really practice, this was all, So letting Alfie win and maybe losing that 1 point, doesn't really matter in the end because I'm not going to be driving. So the humor got the best of me, I guess.
I was quite surprised because honestly, one of my next questions is you managed to outperform like Christian, and you're only about 60 points away from Ben, your teammate, and you're about 40 away from Glomsetter. So you almost find yourself like a bit of back in form after your bit of struggles midway through the start of the third. So I was honestly expecting you to continue that momentum, but yeah, I'm really shocked that you're leaving.
But
very surprised.
Yeah, I'm basically getting paid to drive the iRacing thing. So all of my stuff's getting paid for, and I've been driving for the past week now. Those cars that we're going to be driving, and it's just so more enjoyable. Like I could drive them for 10 hours a day, and I don't get bored because the racing in those like top splits is just brilliant. So yeah, going off to that, and then I might stay as an emergency if needed for Orbit, but the main plan is to, kind of let it go. Even though, surprisingly, I did well this race, which was genuinely just not expected at all.
I feel sad because, damn. Juho, what do you think?
He's taking the same route as me, but either way, Casper, amazing performance on race 2, and I have no questions, but I hope you have good luck in the iRacing adventures as well. And which cars are you driving, by the way?
Super Formulas.
Oh! Bag on.
Oh, you lucky... I'm not swearing.
Yeah.
You lucky man.
Genuinely, I'm
lucky.
11 races a day, like for like a few days, and it was just fighting side by side with random people that are like 7K rating for 20 laps was just changed my mind, and like I genuinely don't enjoy not GPV, but I don't enjoy R Factor that much. So I kind of paid myself to drive it, and I could just enjoy myself on another thing.
Super Formula is great. I love Super Formula. One of my favorite teams.
Me too. The car in iRacing is amazing, and I get to drive it as well.
So Imola's your last race then?
I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but Imola FS2 is not the only race I'm doing in Imola.
Okay.
There's been talks of doing another series which is higher. So I'm probably going to just practice for that. FS2 Imola is going to be, again, favorite track, so I'm just going to enjoy myself, have fun, and if I can get Alfie another win, that would be hilarious, but I'm just going to go and enjoy myself. Not sweating too much.
Alrighty. Big news, but big thanks, Casper, for your time, and even though if you're leaving, I think here in FS2 we will miss you, but very well drove anyways, not for just this race but also for the season, and you did very well, and all we can mean you say is best of luck in Imola for yourself and Forbit.
Cheers.
Yes. Okay, that might be us. I was hoping Alex was still in so I could have brought him in for a bit of a fake interview, but he must have read my mind. But Juho, any closing thoughts?
The race was fantastic, so much action, but there was also a bit of more chaos than Malaysia, in my opinion. And well, there wasn't even a pile-up, so I'm pleased to say that there wasn't that much like how I don't have words anymore. Either way, race was fun, and I had a pleasure to commentate with you, Amir, even though I made some banters to you, and I think I'm making your head spin and roll. But either way, this was a great race, and we saw some debuts of drivers as well. And Amir, who would be your driver of the day?
Oh, I forgot we were doing this. Good question. I would honestly go for. It's quite difficult because Francesco Grimlozzi was a pretty standout drive for him for SC Racing to get their first points. But I think I might go for Lucas Maciek for 9th and 2nd in his first race after doing an academy back in Kailami. I think that's no easy feat. And honestly, all of the GPVWC academy graduates Maciek and Grimlozzi all performed very well. And I think if we're getting more talent coming up from the academy, then I'm very excited to see what the rest comes in store, not just for the academy, but also in FS2. Who would you give your driver of the day to?
I'd go for Maciek as well. What a standout drive from him. An absolutely great drive in his debut at FS2, and 9th and 2nd. And obviously coming from academy, Kailami, he could be a good driver to look in for the future as well.
The race is over and done, and my goodness me, what a very exciting product of this has been. 21 laps of the feature and 70 laps of a sprint. We never thought that Moldova Drive could repeat their successes from race 2 in Sepang. We thought it was a one and done deal. We would never see another 1-2 ever again after Sepang, but alas, we have not just seen a repeat from Moldova Drive in race 1, but we have seen 3 1-2s in the last 3 races. It is Moldova Drive with Dan Hayek once again, not having to wait as long as he did for his first one. He just had to wait for another race before he clinched his second race when Ty Strongshire also didn't need to wait any longer to clinch his second place. And further on in race 2, it was Big Maz Motorsports, the plucky underdogs. Very, very likely we thought they were going to ever become race winners. And, well, at the very end, Alfie Denley, the infamously called named Thai Tiger, would bring into the press as he gets his first race win, not just from a mass motorsports, but also in his Formula Sprint 2 career. Falls with that, Lucas Machulik beats Casper Kurtz through to the line as he takes second place, and McMass Motorsports will have the Scottish anthem ringing in the podium as it is 1-2. So the Stars and Stripes and the Scottish anthem, what a way to close out through Formula Sprint 2 at this stage of the event. Absolutely incredible. Do tune us in for next time, though. On for Thursday, the 14th of May, we're holding on through Formula Sprint 1 with Owen and Edward will be joining alongside us, 7:30 BST. And then following through the 18th of May, we will be going over to Argonne for the GPVWC Academy, which I think Juho will be alongside in the commentary booth. Then the 19th on Tuesday of May, we'll hold over through Superlights, as it'll be very interesting to see who could come out on top of that. And then on Thursday, the 21st, our flagship series, the Super League, makes its return to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. A very exciting race last year. We'll see if it'll be any more exciting this time around as the championship fight proves even more closer to its boiling point. But after that as well, if you want to catch us in for more Formula Sprint 2, join us in on 2nd of May. We'll be having a week break in between the 22nd to the 2nd, so we'll have our break until then, 1 week break, as we'll be going over to Imola. The San Marino Grand Prix makes its return here onto the calendar once again, and a very exciting race for that in mind. But do stay tuned for us if you want to catch more Formula Sprint 2 action, more GPVWC action. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. I have been Amir Oates. He has been Juho Sopanen. Remco Zeeuw has been on the camera side of things. Big thank you to him for keeping an eye on all the action. And salut and goodbye.
Your French is horrible.